Welcome back to the second drunk commentary of Spider-Man month here on World Class Bullshitters. Tonight, we're bringing our A-game to discuss the greatest superhero film of all time to many people, Spider-Man 2.
Boom.
So get your timestamp set to 0 and press play right now. There we go. I see the Columbia logo there. Now, what's going to follow in a second is, in my opinion, the all-time greatest credit sequence for a superhero movie. Flat out. I can't think of a better one.
Yeah, because part one was a little it was a little lengthy and a little it still felt like very 90s to me.
Yeah, that movie's very rooted in its time. Now, this is the first time with Spider-Man. We got the awesome Marvel logo. They just recently stopped using this.
Yeah.
And it's weird to see now.
Yeah, they upgraded to like a 3D version or something now, so it's upgraded for sure.
I mean, I like it, but it's still weird.
Nothing is more laughable than that new DC Studios 3D logo with the little figures. Spider-Man 2. Now, this isn't Spider-Man 2.1, but if you only have Spider-Man 2.1, this commentary will fit with the exception of the few added scenes.
Okay, so they're showing, I guess. Oh wow, they're showing stuff from the first movie.
Yeah, well, these are illustrations done by Alex Ross, who's a very famous comic book artist.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's one of the all-time greats. Damn. Dude, his illustrations for this movie are like $40,000 a piece to buy.
Woo!
They look worth it.
Yeah, there's Macho Man.
Look at those ads.
I'd buy that one. I'd buy that one.
I'd buy that for $1.
Alright, so before we get into the actual movie, what's everybody drinking?
Gin and juice. Seriously, it's Seagram's gin with some fresh, organic, pressed, tropical citrus juice with no added sweeteners.
Do you have your mind on your money?
And my money on my mind.
Alright,
I've had about 4 Dos Equis in about 5 minutes, and now I'm drinking Buzzballs.
Last standing Samoan?
I'm still drinking Creature Comfort Summer Shandy from Athens, Georgia.
And I am about halfway through a bottle of Single Barrel Select Jack Daniels. I'm more than halfway, sorry.
Phil may die during this commentary, but it's just to show you the dedication he has.
It's for the greater good, the greater good.
Did you guys just see who had a credit on this film?
No.
Kevin Feige, the man who runs Marvel currently.
Oh wow. Well, what was his credit?
I think he was some sort of producer or something.
Okay, gotcha.
He sucked a lot of dick just to get to where he is now.
Hey,
well,
you know what? Thank God he's there.
Apparently he's doing a good job, so, those knee pads paid off.
Yeah. Like Tommy.
Well, this is a great movie.
I love these illustrations.
The illustrations are actually quite damn good. Like, I can't believe he did all these. That's insane.
Now, were these in comic books, or did he do this especially for the movie?
Especially for the movie. This guy has drawn some really well-known comics like Kingdom Come. He's mainly a cover artist, so you can go back. He's actually the current cover artist for the Amazing Spider-Man comics.
Oh, okay.
And Alex Ross is probably the biggest name in comics today, even though he doesn't really draw single issues. Like, everyone that's a fan knows, like, it's photorealistic artwork. That's why he's famous.
Oh, gotcha.
This movie has some really bad Photoshop work.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a hell of a stop.
There's Mr. Aziz. Oh, there's a Snapple ad.
Wait, 29 minutes? That's way too exact.
I think it's, New York, man.
Yeah.
After their buildings fell, they're really, really accurate. Okay, so this movie's a fucking fantasy when you see Pepsi and 7-Up on the same machine.
That's true. That's true. I love the crazy Dr. Pepper ads that are just going on right now. There was like the big machine, the guy behind him is just like all about Dr. Pepper. Like, he apparently poured Dr. Pepper from a bottle into a Dr. Pepper cup just to really make sure that you knew what he was drinking the whole time.
When I was a kid, when this movie came out, I bought all the Dr. Pepper varieties just to collect the cans.
Nice.
I actually have all the Burger King paraphernalia from this movie too, like empty fry cups and paper bags and other cups.
I love that.
So you're saying you're a fan?
Yeah, I love that you said paraphernalia.
Yeah, this movie was my drug. I always like to talk about how I discovered movies. I didn't know they were making a Spider-Man 2 until I got an email from Sony Pictures with the trailer in it in 2004.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just remember it was like, there's a hero in all of us. I was like, there's a Spider-Man 2! And I was so excited. I could not wait. I was on, oh, there's Ashy Larry. I was on vacation with my aunt. We went to Virginia Beach. Yeah. You remember, he is a menace to society.
Yeah, that's
a menace.
Spider-Man. He's going to be there just in time to deliver pizza. How dare he?
Uh-oh, important shit. I do like that this is a practical effect. You know, real Spider-Man and real children.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I assume that they made, they made the...
That is a glorious bald man.
I'm so glad
Let me
Spider-Man
rephrase
saved that kid so he can go back to Adam Sandler and Big Daddy.
This guy's trying to keep, under the pizza. He's like, shit.
Wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, and a heart. Dude, I wouldn't even leave it on the edge there. It would be inside so quick.
Yeah, I would have taken that shit in.
I'd be like, nope, Spider-Man, fuck you, I'm sorry. I'm eating it. It's happening. I rub my butt all over it.
There's Bones herself.
Oh, shit, I remember that show. I never watched it.
It's funny how her sister's Zooey Deschanel, but this woman's so much more unattractive.
She's not that great of an actress either.
Yeah,
Oh, neither of them are.
She's been doing Bones for 15 years. Of course she's not.
Well, every season she wants to quit, and David Boreanaz is begging, please don't leave. Don't leave. I need another paycheck.
Oh, this is their final season.
Oh, it's still on?
Yeah, I think this past season was the final season. My mom watches it.
We just dated this fucking podcast, so thanks, Phil. People aren't going to read what date we uploaded it now, but now that we talk about Bones ending, it's firmly in 2000 and something.
Oh, damn.
If I was Spider-Man, I would be like, listen, bitch. I'm taking this pizza.
I will web your mouth shut right now. Your famous examples.
His ass was going to get fired. Why didn't he just take all these pizzas home and eat on them for a couple weeks?
Yeah, dude. It's been like, well, shit.
I'm not paying for this sweet. I'm taking them then. I'm hungry.
So, the CGI, I never noticed this, but in the other cut, I'm pretty sure that orange soda machine has been CGI'd over.
Really?
Because if you paid attention in the background when he was getting the pizzas at first, there was a man drinking out of a cup, and they CGI'd the cup to look differently. I think it was a Dr. Pepper cup, and they took all the Dr. Pepper placement out.
That's
Wait,
weird.
did you guys see Dr. Pepper on everything?
Yeah, I did.
Yes,
yeah,
I did.
On the Blu-ray, it says Neuronda Orange. I didn't see a single Dr. Pepper logo.
No, I saw Dr. Pepper all the way through that, man.
God damn it, I don't like the Blu-ray anymore.
Neuronda Orange.
How did they fuck?
It's not.
Why? Come on, man.
Apparently when the Blu-ray came out, they lost the rights to Dr. Pepper.
That's dumb, though.
That is dumb. That really takes me out of the movie.
Damn.
wow.
Oh, my God.
I now know what those nerds feel like when they don't get to watch the original cut of Star Wars anymore.
Ted Raimi.
Yeah, dude, Ted Raimi's awesome.
I've met him before. He's a super nice guy.
He was supposed to be at a convention I was working at, and he canceled at the last minute. I was pissed because I wanted to meet him.
That sucks. Yeah, he was a 1 year in Atlanta, and I met him, and he was super nice guy, amazing dude.
All I would do is ask him about Spider-Man.
I would
So what was J.K.
I would
Simmons
say that
like?
I'm surprised.
But you'd be lying.
I would be lying very much.
Did you guys ever want to bang Elizabeth Banks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Every now and again,
I forgot the blonde women are considered satanic on your home island.
They are devils. They are devils.
Which
dude right
means
here
he
that
wants them even more.
That dude that just hit Peter Parker was Sam Raimi.
Really?
Yeah, that was Sam Raimi with a backpack. He likes to abuse his actors, he says.
Because they're meat puppets, that's why.
Yeah. That's funny, he used that same quote on the Evil Dead commentary this morning. Now, this was the biggest failed opportunity of this series. By Spider-Man 4, he should have been the Lizard. Because we had all this build. They talk about him in the first movie. They show him in the second and third. And in the fourth one, he should become the Lizard. Because we had, at that point, like 6 or 7 years of build-up.
Yeah, well,
maybe the next logical step.
Maybe that was going to be part 4. That we're going to have him be the Lizard.
From what I've heard online, it was supposed to be the Vulture and Black Cat. And Black Cat was going to be played by Anne Hathaway.
She has an unhealthy obsession with cats.
That's a pussy I'd like to see.
Yes.
But
Indeed, sir. Indeed.
There's that car again.
Hmm? That damn car.
Never fails.
That's a hallmark of Sam Raimi.
Yeah, dude, it's the way Sam Raimi rolls. So.
What a surprise party! All of his friend.
Well, they even say I'll go get the others. There are no others.
God, Kirsten Dunst looks like crap there.
Oh, she does look terrible in this movie. She looks sickly. Like she discovered heroin the day before.
Well, no, it's funny because in the first thing you see in the movie is she's a model on some billboard, and it's she looks like that.
She looks like she's not wearing any makeup.
She looked good in the first movie.
Well, she didn't get addicted to heroin in the first movie.
She wasn't famous in the first movie, so
that doesn't.
Actually, she was in a bunch of shit. She was in Jumanji, Small Soldiers, other stuff. That Bring It On.
Yeah.
Those were all big.
She was a
big
kid
items.
in Jumanji, though.
No, Bring It On though. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was in Bring It On.
Yeah, she's in Bring It On,
She's
dude.
the lead.
Nor did I care.
That movie's terrible.
It is.
And yet it spawned 8 sequels.
Bring It On again.
Because
Bring It On
fucking
3.
retarded ass people keep buying it.
Bring It On 7. You got
and also a TV show.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
Must be on MTV.
Probably, but they're talking about Dr. Octavius. What was his first? When did he first appear in the comics?
Spider-Man number 3.
Jesus Christ, you knew that from memory.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4. No, okay, so the first issue is he might be 3. Number 1, he fights the Chameleon and the Terrible Tinkerer. No, just the Chameleon. Second one, he fights the Vulture and the Terrible Tinker. Yeah, the Terrible Tinker is in the Homecoming movie, so be prepared for stupidity. And I'm pretty sure issue 3 is Doc Ock.
Okay.
Yeah, Doc Ock is one of his earliest villains. The Green Goblin doesn't show up till issue 14, I think.
But is that his greatest foe, I guess?
The Green Goblin?
Yeah.
It's debatable. It depends on what you consider. I always go Doc Ock, but the Green Goblin did capture... The Green Goblin learned his secret identity and killed his girlfriend,
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Gotcha.
Who was his first villain in the comics?
Ever? He fights the burglar that kills Uncle Ben. That's the end of the first appearance of Spider-Man. But in the first actual issue, he fights the Chameleon because he wants to... Or he fights the Chameleon, and then he also tries to join the Fantastic Four. It's weird. The comic book has 2 separate stories.
Because the Avengers weren't made yet.
No, the Avengers were around. He tries to join the Avengers, and he's not good enough.
Damn.
And before anyone says, well, actually, this is what happened. No, in the I think it was the 6th annual or something like that. He tries to join the Avengers, but the Avengers want him to kidnap or capture the Hulk, and he realizes that the Hulk is just a misunderstood guy. So he decides to let the Hulk go and not join the Avengers. So that's what really happens. And this is off the top of my head. I can't believe I remember this.
That's your comic book knowledge is quite insane, sir.
It's only with Spider-Man. I don't care about any other character.
Well, no, but between you and Dion, it's ridiculous the amount of stuff you know about comic books. You can recite them, you know what numbers they are. It's crazy.
I gotta pull the curtain back for Dion. He doesn't know anything about Spider-Man.
When did you say Green Goblin's first appearance was?
Is it 14 or 13?
It is 14.
That's what I said. 14.
I am.
The issue is him. The Spider-Man is in a cave, hiding above the Green Goblin, and the Incredible Hulk's in a little picture, and the Enforcers are there.
All of that is exactly true because I'm looking right at it.
Damn.
Believe me, I know these things. You guys gotta understand. I have these books called Marvel Masterworks, and I read them. I got them in high school, right before this movie came out, and I would read those books religiously.
Marvel Masterworks?
Yeah, they're just reprints of the old issues.
Oh, okay. Were the actual reprints of individual comics, or was it just a giant book of all the comics of those particular characters.
No, they're Spider-Man issues 1, 2, 3, just every issue, full, you know.
Gotcha.
Full reprints, no advertisements though, which is nice.
Okay, well, once again, she's a model and she's still living at home. What the fuck?
No, she's not living at home. She's just visiting her dad because she's in the
that's yeah, you're right. You're right.
Because they show that she lives on her own in this movie.
Yeah.
Because remember, later on, he goes to call her on the phone and she brings in the groceries?
Yeah.
She is not attractive in this movie whatsoever.
God, no. I've never thought she was attractive. I thought she looked like white trash all the time.
She looked fine in the first movie. I don't know what kind of drug she's doing now, but I wanted some.
Dan, if you have drugs that turn you into Kirsten Dunst, that is awesome. You need to sell that shit.
I'll get on the horn right now.
Get on the horn. Get on the horn.
Thanks, Beetlejuice.
Oh
Hey,
my god.
Anything I can do to help.
Jeez.
I love how we've taken a serious and sweet moment and ruined it.
Yep, that's what we do. That's a World Clash Bullshitters trademark right there. That's the mushroom stamp. That's what it is.
We didn't ruin it. She's the one that did heroin.
Yeah, she ruined her fucking face.
Oh yeah. Jeez.
It's funny how there's all these criticisms of Tobey Maguire, but they only come from the end of the middle of the third movie. They aren't like valid criticisms because those little crying scenes were turned into memes, and people were using those to judge the entire series of film. And that's a problem.
No, it is. When you take one frame, especially out of context, and judge the entire movie, that's bullshit.
Yeah. It's funny. I think there's a small underground following in this movie, kind of bringing it back. I'm not saying it's going to become, regarded as well as Star Wars, but I think a lot of people are like, well, Spider-Man was good back in the day, and they're kind of tired of little kid Spider-Man and, all the characters being stupid.
And they need to. They need to be like, listen, watch the movies that came out in the early 2000s. Actually watch them. Don't just look at the fucking meme and take that as, any dose of realism of what's really going on. Actually watch them. I know it's difficult for these kids and their fucking phones, but just watch the goddamn movies.
Because these were, like, the premier movie events of each year. Everyone was pumped for a Spider-Man movie. Hey, Ditkovich, it's on the building.
Ditkovich?
Yeah, Ditkovich. I'll never forget, we went to see Spider-Man 3 in theaters, Dan, and the guy calls him Mr. Ditkovich. He thought he said Ditkovich, and you go, oh! And you just, like, look over at me.
I was like, so that's where you got it.
Oh, you see the girl that plays his daughter, the really creepy skinny girl?
Yeah.
She's on that show Hung with Thomas Jane, so if you ever want to see what she looks like naked, watch that show.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
I kind of do.
It's not bad looking, dude. It's not bad.
There you go. Not bad's good enough for me.
Guys, that old guy always plays like some Russian mobster or some just like he's always like just the Russian all the time.
Dude, he was the Russian in Air Force One.
That's true. He was. He was a Russian pilot.
I love that movie. We'll do a commentary with that.
Oh, dude, don't even say things like that. Oh my god.
Get off my plane.
Get off my plane, motherfucker.
God, look how shitty his apartment is.
God, that's shitty. That's my apartment's shittier.
No, you have that thing that looks like a loaf of rye bread that I slept on. You have a nice apartment.
You're also not a fucking superhero. You're just Samoan.
Yeah. Hey! Shh! Shut up, Dan.
The next day.
It's crossfade, like dip to black, and sunrise over New York.
Nice design.
I would hate to live in an apartment where I had to walk across the hall to use the shower.
Oh, that would suck. And that's actually a thing that happens in like really cheap apartment buildings in New York, just to make them cheaper. Like, all right, one bathroom and then like little, little shittier, smaller apartments.
Yeah, fuck that.
Because if you need,
that's how it was in the dorms.
Is that it was in the dorms?
Yeah, when I lived in college, we had one bathroom.
Oh God, how do you even jerk off?
It was like a multi. I had my own room, and I had a girlfriend. I didn't need to jerk off.
Oh, there you go. Never mind that. Yeah.
I was fucking.
Yeah. Never mind.
I do have to say, Doc Ock in this movie is my favorite villain out of any superhero movie.
That's because you have good taste, Phil.
I like what's his name? Alfredo?
Alfred Molina.
Alfred.
Alfredo?
Alfredo Molina. Hey, Phil, I'll give you $1 if you can tell me what his earliest film appearance is.
No clue.
Looks like you're keeping that $1.
Yeah, it's Raiders of the Lost Ark. He plays the little South American guide that follows Indiana Jones into the temple.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, shit. Oh, the one who almost falls into the pit?
Yep, and the one that gets stabbed through the chest after he goes, "Adios, senor."
Oh, shit, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, Alfred Molina's really British.
Yeah, well, I remember him in a movie called This Fly I Knew Too Little with Bill Murray, and I love that movie.
So do I. I saw it in theaters.
Dude, it's so good.
He's so British.
See, now, it's funny how everyone complains about these movies. Oh, Peter Parker's not a scientist. He's not this. He's not that. What the fuck are we doing talking about harmonic reinforcement and Bernoulli and the curves of quickest descent? I don't even know shit about science. I've learned from these movies. Okay, like, thank you, I guess, for teaching me a phrase.
you are the Neil deGrasse Tyson of the group, Jeff.
I am.
Yes. all you
Dion's
need
the
is
black one.
Well, I mean, you're half black. All you need is a sweet mustache and like a vest. You're good to go, man.
I'm sorry to break it to you, that'll never happen. I cannot grow facial hair evenly.
Ah, damn it.
I did just buy a nice new trimmer, though, so...
Not even like a porn stash?
Not even.
Oh, man. Oh.
Have you ever walked up to a line of crushed Oreos and dipped your face in them? That's what my mustache looks like.
Okay.
That is disturbing how accurate that description is.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
I love how like elegant this guy is. Like in his like science lab, he's got like these books and like a bike in the corner there, and like his wife cooks all kinds of cool shit and all these nice dishes and everything. Like he's made it, man. He's there.
You see, Nick, this is what's called character development. We get a fully fleshed out character based on his surroundings. Nowadays, they just stand in front of a green screen and they're like, composite this and that, and we'll tell the audience what they need to know.
Yeah,
like
and
you'll just appear out of nowhere.
No, and I'm 110% with you there, because you can tell so much by his character, by what is around him, and nobody takes the fucking time to do that anymore. It's always just like, green screen, alright, act mean, act angry. It's like, no, fuck you. Do your goddamn job.
Your goddamn job. You know, for not having much Spider-Man action in the first, what is this, we're at 20-minute marker now? Close to it?
Yeah. 2022, yeah, something like that, yeah.
It's still an entertaining flick. Nowadays, you'd have to have an action scene like right away. Because I mean,
no. And one thing, I don't know if you've noticed this as well, but something that I've noticed a lot that happens in movies these days is that they will all of a sudden skip the first thing you see to really get people going is they'll skip the middle of the movie and show like 15 minutes of that, and then they'll get back to the beginning.
I hate that.
And
like Deadpool did that.
Well, Deadpool skipped around a lot just in general, and I mean, you know. That was crazy, but like there was one movie, yeah, and I mean, I just hate it, and they need to be more concise and things like this, and make an actual fucking movie.
I never understood the appeal of a pair of jeans with a suit coat.
No, you look like a teacher when you do that, man. You look like a TA.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch Harrison Ford movies and think he was the coolest dude ever. And then I was watching The Fugitive, and I said to my mom, "Why does he wear jeans with a suit jacket?" And she said because he's poor. So
look at the daughter. Her arms are like really weirdly long too.
Hey Nick, do you see that sign that says the importance of being earnest?
Yeah.
Did you notice that was the same font as American Horror Story?
Yes, it is.
That's what being an artist is good for. I can tell fonts when I see them.
Well, you are damn good at your job, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate.
High five.
Okay, all right.
You.
She's supposed to put on makeup right now, and she still looks like shit.
True. She's an ugly woman.
God
Nick,
damn,
you
Kirsten.
talking about being an artist. When this movie came out, I used to collect like everything for like cereal boxes, Dr. Pepper shit, and I would just draw all the images I could find. If I could find the Notebook, you guys would laugh at how much better I've gotten since back then. Like my artwork back there was, then was terrible.
Well, what I used to do is I used to pause cartoons and draw. I used to like, at least trace on top of like on top of them like the main lines, and then go and draw the details in later off the TV.
You couldn't do that nowadays because back then TVs were actually made of glass.
Yeah,
You could just ruin a flat screen.
I know. Oh no. We had like a old ass Zenith TV to do that on. So you know.
Do you remember how great that sound would make when you would tap the glass on a TV? Like, they all sounded the same. It was such a really cool sound effect.
Oh, yeah, it was always like that nice hollow sound that you got.
Now, this shot right here is fucking awesome.
Woo!
When I was a kid, I always wanted to be in a Spider-Man movie and have the part that she had, where they just go, "Go, Spider-Man!" I always thought that would have been the coolest thing ever. Go, Spidey, go!
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
This is an amazing shot right here. Like, it's funny, I'm not saying this is the greatest CGI ever, but the CGI in this movie doesn't look that bad. It actually looks better than what we saw in the Black Panther trailer.
I mean, the only complaint I had about the first one is like the beginning credits looked a little dated, but other than that, I mean, it was fine.
Well, what's great about this movie is they do a nice blend of CGI and a man in a costume, and unless you're paying like really close attention, you're not going to notice the difference.
Yeah.
That was a change from Spider-Man 2.1.
It was just that with Spider-Man 3, it was very, very noticeable.
Oh yeah, because what they would do is they would try to replace actors with CGI to save time and money, and it was a waste, you know? You always film what you can on set.
No, and then, yeah, that's always a rule. Like, always, hold on. Oh, when does he show up? When is he
Right
here? Yes!
Right here!
There he is!
The man, the myth, the legend, the Chin.
I love how he's fucking with him entirely here.
What's your favorite Bruce Campbell role in Spider-Man?
What was his role in the third one?
Oh, jeez.
In my opinion, the third one's the best, where he's the French waiter.
Yes!
Oh, okay,
Because he's doing the crappy accent. I love that. Oh my god.
Oh, oui, with my laugh, monsieur.
Oh man, and he's got the really thin mustache and everything. Oh, it's amazing.
I love this part right here. Just the look on his fucking face when the lady starts saying Spider-Man. See, now this is good acting. You don't need like Andrew Garfield going, "Oh!" Just one raised eyebrow and you get the entire fucking message.
He looks like he's about to cry.
Well, he's getting shit on, and this is what Peter Parker does. He gets shit on constantly.
Yeah, because that was the case in the cartoons. Like he was always like a minute too late and just always missed everything all the time. Uh-oh.
Oh no. There's the girl from Death Proof, Nick.
Holy shit, that is her.
Yeah.
God, she's so...
I know her big-ass lips from anywhere.
Yeah. Man.
She's cute, though.
She's cute, yeah, especially when she did her striptease for... Sorry, her lap dance for Kurt Russell.
I remember watching this in theaters going, "Oh no." Like, I audibly went, "Oh no." I felt so bad for Spider-Man.
It's like in his mind, he's going, "Oh shit."
Yeah, the cops are going, and he's like, "Damn it, I gotta go save somebody."
Fucking work.
Exactly, fucking work.
Now this is one of the coolest shots of the movie right here, where he runs down the alley. This was used in all the trailers. Very Superman-esque.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, he's really referencing Superman in that moment right there.
I was waiting to hear the Superman
really
theme.
Crazy. That shot was kind of odd going up the building. It felt it definitely was real for sure.
I love this CGI. This looks so great. Especially, and here's humor right here. Spider-Man doesn't need to crack jokes every 5 seconds because there's visual humor and sight gags like this. Boom.
Yeah.
Ow.
Damn.
And that was a really nice blend of CGI and live action.
Yeah, that blend was seamless.
I didn't get to say this on the first commentary, but man, I love this costume.
What is there a difference between this and the first one?
The colors are slightly different. There's webbing on the hands as opposed to empty palms, and the spider on the back is different, but not enough for anyone to really notice.
Gotcha.
But enough for them to make different toys.
Well, yeah, that's always the case.
I do have one I have one really sweet Spider-Man toy. It came out for this movie. It was only like $30, but it's worth like $200.
I love this fucking elevator scene.
Oh, Hal Sparks?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love Hal Sparks so much.
This really dates the movie, though.
It really does.
I will say I still don't know who he is.
Unless you watched I Love the 80s, it wasn't important.
Well, he did like a comedy thing once that was hilarious, and then he never did it again.
Just once?
Yeah, and he's also he went to like doing Nickelodeon like kid shows for a while. I think that's where his money is right now. So.
Hey man, he needs money. I'm not here to judge.
No man, I'm not saying shit. I mean, you know, you do what you gotta do, man. So you gotta survive. But I
love the
love
awkward nature of this.
Yeah, it's so awkward. He's like Spider-Man's in the elevator. Well, you know, this has happened. It's New York. It's part of New York.
The extended cut of this scene's pretty funny because Spider-Man gets uncomfortable and he starts pressing the button and he goes, "It doesn't make it go any faster." And Spider-Man's like, "Thanks." and he actually tries to pitch. He's like, "Can I rock with you? Can I rock with you?" He starts snapping his fingers. He goes, "How about a line of hammocks? You know, how about a book instead of like Spidey's web instead of Charlotte's web without the pig?" And then he goes, "How about a cologne called Thwip, which is the sound effect Spider-Man's web makes?" It was a really good scene.
Oh wait a minute. So the pitches are only in the extended cut?
Yeah.
I was wondering why I kept falling behind you guys. I'm watching the extended.
And this movie also dates itself by not having a cell, like he doesn't have a cell phone, like a real fancy one. He needs a payphone.
The first Spider-Man movie actually advertised singular cell phones. I remember as a kid I would see the commercials and get excited because they would take the CGI from the movie and have him swing over a singular like advertisement. I'm like, "Oh my god, Spider-Man!" And I used to want the cell phone just because it was in the movie.
Yeah. Well, that's something that happened a lot back then. Is that you had the in the beginning you had companies put like their first cell phones into every movie almost, and I remember Sony was a big proponent of that as well. So he's just kind of like, I guess, putting his heart, just talking his heart out, trying to get into.
I love how he's like, something has to be done about that usher.
He's got to be stopped. Spider-Man's going to do something about him.
Did you guys ever play the games for this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, okay, this is also around the era when they came out with movies that came out with the video games, and for these, the games were not that bad.
These were awesome. This game was amazing.
Yeah, it was around that era when like the movie was amazing, the video game was amazing, you know, and it was all good.
I believe I've told this story on the show before, but I was on vacation when this game came out, and I spent most of the vacation in the condo playing it.
Nice.
My mom bought me this game the day it came out, and I beat it the next day, so I knew the entire plot of this movie before I even saw it in theaters.
How accurate was the plot?
70%.
That's not bad.
It didn't ruin my excitement for this movie, though. Like, I remember exactly where I sat in the theater.
You know. Yeah. I mean, I of course that wouldn't, but I was wondering how, like, you know, how much they said the video game.
They did. It was really accurate because they had Tobey Maguire and Alfred Molina do voice work.
Gotcha.
And they had like full motion video for the cutscenes and stuff. It was cool.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Now, the big action scenes didn't translate well to the game. Most of the game was like, swing to this point, get a balloon, do this, do that.
Yeah, there was like maybe 6 or 7 different kinds of missions, but when you did like 1 or 2 of the same mission, they started to repeat themselves.
And if we're going to be really honest with ourselves, something the internet doesn't like to do, the Spider-Man 3 game was essentially the same game, but it was slightly better. But everyone hates the movie, so they shit on the game. But
yeah.
Now this scene right here, when he puts his arms up and the mechanical arms go up with it, it's like, yeah, it looks like it sucks. This is like directly out of the comic right here. Now, this isn't like how Doc Ock gets his tentacles, by the way.
Oh, what is the comic book way that he gets them?
In the comics, he loses his funding. He goes to like a basement to continue his research, and there's an explosion, and it fuses the arms to his body.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that looks straight like a Steve Ditko drawing. The way he stands, the way the slacks are cut.
Nice.
Very faithful. That's one thing Sam Raimi did. That's what I think you need a fan of a series to adapt it, because Sam Raimi loves Spider-Man so much, and you can tell on the screen, you know, that a Spider-Man fan created these movies.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'll always hear these characters these studios say like, "Oh yeah, the director's been a fan of this character ever since he was a kid." And it's like, that's bullshit. It's entirely bullshit. You're just saying that so we give you money and we have a little bit of like false hope for the movie.
I'd give you $5 because I would bet that they hired Mark Webb because his last name was Webb, and they thought people were going to be so hell-bent on loving, oh, Mark Webb directed Spider-Man, let's go see this and support it with our money.
You're probably right. Sadly, that's probably correct.
Look at audience, if you guess that Hollywood does something retarded, I guarantee you Sony has done it.
Yeah, and then redone it, and then redone it.
Yeah. Now, this was done with actual puppetry. These tentacles.
Really?
Yeah, there were actual puppeteers on set. That's a CGI shot, you can tell. But anytime it's interacting with Doc Ock, there's actual puppetry.
It's crazy.
I feel sorry for Harry in this movie. Like, he tries so hard only to get shit on.
True. I mean, like, well, I mean, you know, he's trying to be the owner of the company. He's got the glasses on and the suit and everything, and he's like, yeah, man, we're making stuff, you know. But it's just, yeah, it's just bad.
Nobel Prize, Otto. Nobel Prize. That was also part of the fucking trailer a lot.
Yeah.
I love this sound effect. Like, it's hard for me not to watch this movie with sound.
Okay, what was the substance that they were there? I guess they're using
tritium.
Okay, I think that's real, but the way they're doing it, and actually they really do experiments like this, but it's with high intensity lasers in a like almost like hadron collider type of thing, and it's very enclosed and airtight. You know,
in the comic, he's trying to do something with in the cartoon, he's trying to do something with cold fusion.
Ah, that makes sense then. And he's making. I love it's a mini sun. That's awesome.
And it's the power of the sun in the palm of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I love how Spider-Man's the only one to realize what's happening. I want a screenshot of James Franco's shitty smile. There goes his Rolex.
There it goes immediately, yeah. He put his hand up and it was gone.
Now this shit's starting to get good. There are a lot of horror elements to this movie.
Peeling up the walls, Jesus. Polar flare, oh god.
I love how Harry's like, I demand you! I order you! I'm in charge here!
And then he gets like hit in the head and then like, that's it, boom.
This changes nothing. God, I love that fucking costume.
Good looking costume.
Yeah. From the first movie, someone stole it.
It wasn't Toby?
No, maybe. I don't. Tobey Maguire's paid a couple $1 million to be in that movie. I don't know why he'd steal a suit.
I mean, just to have a a remembrance of it, maybe. But you know,
I'm pretty sure he hated being in these movies.
I think he did. Yeah.
The only characters you get that like to play the superheroes they play are like Hugh Jackman.
True.
Oh man, that's a cool ass shot. Boom. This part in the game sucks pretty much. I guess Dan and Phil fell asleep.
Yep, they're gone.
Who's gone?
Oh, there you are.
Phil's dead though.
We can live with that.
Yep, I knew it happened.
If I hear him,
I'm here.
I forgot
Okay.
that when I'm not talking, I mute my microphone.
Food showed up. I had to answer the door.
That's not an
Oh,
excuse.
nice.
That's not an excuse, man.
God, those are some gay sunglasses.
Yeah, they are super gay. I think they're Chanel, though. I think they're Chanel.
Shh. Coco.
Or Coach, I'm not sure. It's one or the other.
They're Michael Kors, bitch. Get it right.
My bad, dude. My bad.
Clearly, they're for Sage.
Faux Sachi. F-O Sachi. If anyone in the audience can get that reference, 2 points.
You get a hug.
Oh, God, I love how they're in surgery, and they have to like cover the tentacles in plastic just to be sure.
A laminectomy.
A laminectomy.
My question is, would he be able to walk after they remove this from his body?
I mean, I don't think so.
I highly doubt it.
I'd rather live with a fucking giant apparatus attached to my spine than be paralyzed.
That I can control.
Yeah. Now this is straight out of Evil Dead right here. Boom!
Oh shit, it is.
This is one of my
Oh, you're
favorite
right,
scenes
dude.
in the
You're
movie.
right.
God damn, this has gotta suck.
I wasn't even supposed to be in today.
That poor guy.
Ooh.
This part's awesome too with her nails.
Yeah, this part is like super violent.
That's why I love this part. It turns into a horror movie for like 2 minutes.
It's almost too good to talk over.
Ah, man, it's.
This is straight up Evil Dead. The fucking chainsaw.
yeah, he's like, yeah, that whole shot with the chainsaw is, yeah, it's entirely.
It gets more Evil Dead. Ready? Hold on. Right here, there. That is straight out of the fucking movie. Is that Bruce Campbell?
No,
Oh, I love his reaction right here. Oh, shit.
God.
My question is, why do they have a chainsaw in the operating room?
Look at what they have to deal with right now. Why wouldn't they have a chainsaw?
There, just in case.
You didn't know.
Oh my God. What have I done?
He's just
He
like,
doesn't give a
what kind of
fuck.
coma did I wake up from?
Is it still this year?
That was a crazy fucking dream, dude.
It's the last time I do shrooms.
No! Why couldn't you use his tentacles for good?
Because of tentacles, and tentacles are always used for evil.
I'm glad he's partially fat. It makes the character more believable.
Yes.
Wait, you don't want him to look like Fabio?
No, fucking Fabio, what a 90s person.
The
That's a
bogle!
cool shot right there.
That's a weird shot, but I liked it. It's like the tentacles like the cops. Let's boogie.
Now remember, the tentacles talk to him.
That's true.
Because
Like,
they're connected to his brain.
yeah. How he finds
Because
like
at the end, he's
and
like,
then
listen to me now.
I love how like he finds the worst place ever to make his new lab. Like it's in the middle of the ocean. It's in the middle of the dock, and everybody can see you, but you're gonna make that your lab. Come on, dude.
I think Donald Trump was on the TV in the background for real.
Oh God, I have to.
Seriously, if you ever go back and rewatch that scene.
Well, also okay, Ted Raimi comes out of nowhere in all those scenes where he calls him, like he's not in the room as far as you can see, and then all of a sudden he calls him and he's just there. I think Ted Raimi is secretly Flash in these movies.
I love the part when he goes, "Does anyone care what I want? I do. Shut up." How did she find Parker? Like, there's no cell phone.
America?
Right there, that's an awesome shot. He knows he's Spider-Man. There's no kind of subtlety in movies anymore. Everything's
There
so.
isn't. It's all blunt. It's like it's very like this is what this is. I hope you understand this because we can't explain it any better. Like it has to be very blunt.
Well, it's for the fucking international audiences. It's like they don't understand American subtlety and this and that. Like, unless it's, you know, an English-speaking country.
Well, no. It's funny.
It's
funny you mention that because I think they make a lot of these movies for foreign audiences because that's a big that's a lot of money there. So that's what they do.
Bunch of communists.
It's funny though. A lot of these foreign countries will ban movies for dumb reasons. So
that's true. They will.
Well, their loss.
Well, I mean that's why piracy exists. So.
Right.
My Rosie's dead.
The internet. Oh, cool! I caught up to you guys.
Oh man, yeah. I guess he's contemplating suicide or something right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
But
tentacles are like, no. We must
Why would you do
our
that?
work."
Let's fucking kill people. Let's destroy the
God,
whole
I haven't
city
seen
right
this movie
now.
in so long. I have not appreciated it this much. I feel so fucking bad.
You should.
I mean, I know I harp on certain things like Fletch, but this movie does deserve the respect I give it.
Because with this whole scene, it's a whole character building dynamic. It's like he's literally thinking of killing himself because he knows he can do evil.
he
you
knows
know?
the arms
And the
are
thing
evil.
is,
He knows the
they
arms.
spent the first movie building the character of Spider-Man. Now they build the next guy, and it shows you how he interacts in the world.
Yeah, and now and now these things are talking to him and taking over his brain. And he's like, no, I can do that experiment again. I can do it better.
For the longest time, this was my favorite superhero movie, and every time I watch it, I wonder why it's not anymore because it's so great.
Yeah, and I mean, even now you see the tentacles behind him in the close-up shot were puppeted. You could tell that they were real.
What is your favorite superhero movie now, Jeff?
I used to say Civil War, but I think this really might be my favorite superhero movie.
Okay, I was gonna say because
I
thought this was your favorite movie.
I mean, I understand why it is now because I mean, just the scene with the villain, he's not really a villain. He's just pretty much misunderstood. You know, basically, he's trying to redo the experiment that he thinks he miscalculated for. So I mean, and he was willing to kill himself because he knew the arms were evil.
And then the arms got
And I like
tall.
how there's a continuation of Aunt May's money problems.
Yeah. Well, that's
Joel
because
McHale, this was right before he got real popular.
that's true. Well, I also think she used to run with the mob back in the day, and she lost a lot of her money because dude got taken. So
Joe McHale pre-soup.
free soup. Oh God. And then wonderful haircut.
And then Community.
Wasn't Aisha Tyler on the suit back then?
I think so.
She's still hot, man. She's still banging.
That is a fine woman.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah.
I like her voice too.
Oh yeah. She's in a couple of stand-ups as well, and she's actually pretty funny.
Isn't she the host of Whose Line Is It Anyway now?
She might be.
Yeah.
I love how he was just standing there in a trench coat and a hat, and everybody's like, "Look at that guy."
Holy shit, Dick Tracy's robbing the bank.
I like to think that his hat is an homage to Indiana Jones, his first movie.
It might be.
Look
It
at
is-
the hat.
it is
It's
now.
It's the same fedora.
It is now. Now it is.
Yeah.
You
Actually,
put
no,
the
you're
arm
right. No, you're right. It's the same color, the same ribbon, and everything. It is. You might be entirely right, sir. Oh my God, I love the crappy like bank bags and like the gold in them and everything. That's amazing.
That CGI is terrible.
What, on Spidey?
No, just the bags.
Free money.
Hey, look, a joke that people say they don't ever make.
No, but just okay, but having bank bags like that is very like commonplace. Extremely
Oh
commonplace.
yeah.
Because that's not how that shit works ever.
and gold coins too.
And gold coins, yeah, exactly. Gold
Yeah.
coins, like come on.
It's like,
Remember,
what
gold
is this
currency's
fucking?
accepted everywhere.
I was gonna say, is this fucking medieval days?
The medieval dead.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, that'd be. Well, no, that was called Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
I like how he was clearly turned around in time to catch that desk, but didn't.
Now, there's only one scene in this movie I legitimately hate, and we're about to get to it in a second.
Oh, Stan Lee's appearance.
Oh no, that's fine with me. I'll tell you when we get here. We're almost there. We're probably about 30 seconds away.
Right on.
Oh, good old Aunt May got captured.
Such.
I love her as Aunt May.
Oh, The Office.
This I hate this woman in this like beigeish sweater with the shitty glasses. Just this part right here pisses me off when she starts to scream.
Right into the
I know
camera.
this is a very yeah, I hate this. This is the only part of the movie that's hokey to me.
Oh, fuck you, lady. I see why. Like, you're not to scream that much. We get the idea.
Careful, you might break her back.
You should have said butter claws.
I love how old she is, that she's able to hold herself up
with an umbrella.
with an umbrella.
There's Stanley.
Stanley, the unsung hero.
I'm a female
Since we lost
woman
Adam
and
West
I
recently, do you
can't go to the
think-
bank by myself, but I can hold on to an umbrella 40 stories above the ground.
Aunt May lifts.
Yeah. That's what it is. She lifts. Her arms are jacked underneath that.
Do you even lift, nephew?
May.
Yeah, like this CG between both of them looks amazing.
That was great.
Like both of them fighting is awesome. It doesn't look shitty.
Well, there's one benefit you gotta give them. They have one piece of, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? They have one extra benefit. Spider-Man's completely covered. They don't have to render any kind of emotion or human skin or hair. He's just a figure.
Oh, true. But I mean, usually like you'll get like those like okay with like Superman or Man of Steel, you got those fight scenes. They look like shit.
Yeah.
But here, like they look good.
Yeah, when you're not rendering people's faces, I'd imagine it's much easier.
Yeah, because even Doc Ock's face is covered up because he's moving so fast, so you can't really see it.
And that looks a little hokey when he's in the sweatshop.
A little bit.
I love this. Shame on you!
Well, because the color's off a little bit.
And... Brawn!
Brawn!
See, like I said, man, the CGI and the live action just goes together perfectly.
I like how she just cracks him across the face with the umbrella.
And then those two
Doc Ock's like,
college
fuck
girls.
this, I gotta run away. He got away with his 2 bags of gold.
2 giant bags of gold, jeez.
Those are the gold doubloons that Chunk finds in the Goonies.
I love how there's just 2 hot women that just spin around like, oh, tits.
Take me with you!
Spidey, I'd blow you.
I do love how they find him so sexy, but if they saw him at home, he lives in a whole apartment.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you see that black lady behind him? She looks so unimpressed.
Man, I've seen this before.
Like, yeah, it's Spider-Man.
you ain't Superman!
Wrong universe, lady.
What's up, Dion?
What up,
motherfucker?
motherfucker?
There we go.
Dion.
My bad.
Wins cap.
Hit the mute button there for a second. My bads.
We lost a Loudy, we gained a Dion. Good trade.
God, I'm okay with this.
Sounds like a win to me.
So Dion, we need some other people with some interest in the comic books. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you came.
Goddamn right I came.
Did you come tonight?
Would wonder where
I
G2
come
came
whenever
from.
I want.
Like right
Did
now?
you change afterwards?
Good point.
I love the deterioration of their friendship. Like every little aspect of this movie, like the human aspect, was covered.
Yeah, no,
Jumped
it
the gun
was.
to try to sell you a universe. Oh, this is a great joke right here about the mayor and his girlfriend coming up. Wife. He is so fucking good in this. Like, it's not fair.
I would love it if he's still in Homecoming as J. Jonah Jameson.
I'm guessing he's gonna be in Homecoming as J. Jonah Jameson, and it's like a surprise no one sees coming. Like, we'll all be in the theater and we'll all start clapping like, yes!
That's what I was.
I really hope so. I really hope so, but I don't think they're gonna do it.
I think they are, man. I think he loves this shit enough, because what a lot of people don't understand is he still plays J. Jonah Jameson on all the cartoons, like, to this day.
Okay.
So I'm sure they could try to work something out with him.
And he's gone on record saying he would love to play J. Jonah Jameson in the movie.
Yeah, if
He
you
is
don't
the
get
best.
that, you're fucking up if you don't have him play J. Jonah. Just do it. Just fucking pull the trigger.
Spider-Man can't get a goddamn hors d'oeuvre.
Listen, use your web jizz and go get it from the kitchen. All right, just pull through.
So, Dion, since you joined us late, what are you drinking?
I right now am sipping on me some Lagunitas, a little something, and some Maker's Mark bourbon. And Hillary is drinking her some other. What is it?
I have the Pepsi Fire.
Pepsi Fire. What kind of?
Hey, did you ever drink that $20 bottle of beer I left up there?
I did the no rules or whatever. Yes.
How was it?
It was very good. I actually saw some at my Meyer, so they definitely still it's still available for sure. So
Next time I come up, you gotta
come
buy
on.
us a
I know
bottle.
where we can get it.
Perfect. Now, see, I know this is something you hate, Dion, about their relationship of playing back and forth like they keep missing each other, but that's the beauty and that's the character of Spider-Man. It's like Peter Parker wants one thing, but his responsibility keeps him from it, and that's what Spider-Man's about, and they don't have that in the new movies. Because remember at the end when Captain Stacy's like, protect Gwen, don't tell her the truth, promise me, and then he's like, well, the best secrets are broken, and he just kind of smiles. It's like, what a douchebag.
Well, no, like I think it fits. The first one's perfect for that. It's perfect for the first
Can't even get a fucking drink. Cannot even get a goddamn drink. Jesus.
But it's just the second and the third one where I'm just like, what? Like, we get it. We fucking get it. But even then, it's still, that's just me personally, but it's still done better in the second and the third one than in those piece of shit Andrew Shitfield ones. That's for goddamn sure.
I wish we could meet him and call him Andrew Shitfield to his face.
I would love to. That fucking English-sounding motherfucker here.
You know what's amazing is that he got fired from the role of Spider-Man, and then his girlfriend dumped him, like right within the same week.
Damn.
Hey, I mean, I'm hard-pressed to say he didn't deserve it.
Cocky motherfucker. You are Andrew Garfield. If you ever hear this, you are shit. Human shit. You're the worst actor I've ever seen play Spider-Man. And I've seen Nick try to play Spider-Man.
I can see him fucking watching this and leaving a comment. I'm Andrew Garfield. I don't appreciate what you guys are saying to me.
This whole time, Kendo Slice was actually Andrew Garfield. He rescinded his Patreon payments.
It's all been a lie.
Isn't that fat cooking a bunch of shit too? For like, especially early on in the thousands. I feel like I've seen that dude in so many goddamn movies, like little bit parts. I know I've seen that motherfucker.
Nick, we were talking about awesome CGI. I love this shot right here. Well, it looks like he's crying in his glasses or his eyepieces.
Yeah.
And then it's nice and slow and beautifully rendered, and then this happens. Ah! Oh no! God, this has got to suck if you really fell from that height. Dion, what are your thoughts on this costume? Do you like it?
It's my favorite one for sure. I think it's the closest to the cartoon, which is why I love it so much. This is Even though as a truist, not having the webbed wings under the pits kind of bother me, but like I said, it wasn't like that in the cartoon, and the cartoon's my favorite one, and this one, it's the closest to that.
Well, so in the cartoon they had the web wings under the pits, correct?
No.
No.
Oh, they did not. That is just something that's been recent, correct?
No. Spider-Man first appeared with the webs under his arms, but by the time the second artist took over, he phased it out. And for most of Spider-Man's career, he's never had the webs under his arms.
Okay, so it only happened for the first few comics then.
Yeah, let's say the first 35 issues it was always there, and they were really ugly too.
Gotcha.
The way they hung under the arms. And then when John Romita Sr. took over, he drew them, but they were drawn differently. They were a lot smaller. And then, like I said, as time went on, they just disappeared. And I'd say for 80% of 90% of Spider-Man's existence, he's never had those.
Gotcha.
It's just like with Homecoming, they're trying to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, no pun intended, because this is like their last-ditch effort. Like, they know if they can't get the truest, like the older fans, the younger fans, and the people that are just kind of going to throw their money down for, 2 hours of entertainment, that they've lost Spider-Man forever.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, like, I mean, I would just want that to, like, honestly, Homecoming to start with him just, like, immediately rescuing somebody or, just being Spider-Man immediately. No origin, no nothing, just bam, Spider-Man. Let's do it.
Hey, Dion, what was the name of the medical center? Was it Olin Health at MSU?
Yeah, Olin Health, yep.
Did you ever go to that? Did they have doctors on staff?
They did, but I never had to go. But Hill got strep at one time, and
it wasn't strep. They told me it was strep, and it wasn't strep.
So I guess that goes to show they weren't the best in the world.
And they charged me a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Damn.
It looks like Spider-Man gets to go for free because he's broke as shit.
Yeah, about to say he's at the hippie doctor because look at that shirt.
Obamacare.
Look at that Grateful Dead shirt that fucking doctor has. Good God.
I made this gin and juice way too strong. Woo.
Hey, no, you didn't make it strong enough, man.
Are you saying that you're laid back with your mind and your money and your money?
Dunn made that joke.
Damn.
That one's
Yeah,
not getting
Phil
old,
beat you
son.
to that. Phil beat you to that by 2 hours.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually showed up at the beginning of the commentary, so.
oh well, I'm funny because that's like the first one you've ever showed up to, let alone a show.
Oh, is
And
it?
it-
'Cause I was on the last one and the one before that, so.
It is now.
Apparently, Dan is online.
Well, also, Phil, you fell asleep in the last one, so.
Yeah, sure.
Boring.
I love this right here when he has the fucking flashback with Uncle Ben.
And it's all white around them. That's pretty awesome.
Distracting.
Not really distracting, but it's very like it's just like that heavenly thing. It's like I'm thinking about my uncle's dead, and I'm trying to talk to him and trying to figure out my life, and he's in it.
It's well done.
Yeah. It's symbolism, and it's like I get it. I know what's going on. It's real simple. It's subtle. I like it. It's good.
There's the phrase, with great power comes great responsibility.
And it's been copied ever since.
Do you guys know who the first person to ever say it was?
Nope.
Dion? Do you know?
Stan Lee.
George Washington Carver.
Technically, Dion's correct. Technically, it was Stan Lee because the first person to ever say it was the narrator. No one ever actually said it to Spider-Man. It first appeared as a narration caption in the final panel.
That's the only reason that's when I first guessed. I knew it wasn't Uncle Ben that said it first, and the only thing I was just like, I knew it wasn't that. And Hillary was just like, was it Stan Lee? I'm like, I think so.
Yeah. See, for all the people that want to take away all the credit from Stan Lee and say Steve Ditko did everything, Stan Lee created the most famous line of Spider-Man's, history. All right, now this right here, Dion hates it, but he hates how much I go on about it. But right here, this panel, or this frame is stolen directly from Spider-Man number 50. And Nick, Google it. It is exactly like a recreation, the way they replicated the folds in the suit and everything. It's exactly what it looks like. And he walks away in the same alley, and it's raining, and the eyes look at the glow, but still. And no other superhero movie's ever done that, where it's like, I take it back. Civil War did that when Captain America and Iron Man fought at the very end in that Alaskan or Siberian warehouse thing, and they did
the bunker.
Thing where,
You mean the bunker? You're talking?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about from
remember
Civil
when
War,
he,
from the panel in Civil War.
Yeah, that's the only other movie I can think of that just rips the panel directly off of it and puts it on screen.
Yep, I'm looking at it right now.
I want to say Punisher did it too when he fights the Russian, and the scene where his face is all fire. I think that's the only other one that I can think of on top of my head too.
The Punisher came out the same year as this movie.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
Dude, I fucking love Thomas Jane as Punisher so much.
Same here.
God damn.
You're preaching to the choir.
Imagine if they had Thomas Jane in the Daredevil show. God damn.
Shit, man.
That'd be incredible. Did you guys know that Wolverine was almost in this movie?
Yes.
How so?
Hugh Jackman was going to be in this movie in a cameo, but they couldn't find the Wolverine costume, so they cut the cameo out of the film.
They couldn't. What do you mean they couldn't find it?
They lost the Wolverine costume.
They couldn't make a new one?
They didn't want to. I guess those cost thousands of dollars. They couldn't find the one he used in the movie.
Okay, well,
What do you think that would have been like, though, if this was a crossover with X-Men?
Well, I mean, what was the idea with Wolverine to be? What was the cameo going to be?
It wasn't the
know.
X suit. I think it was the leather jacket and the jean costume. Because I want to say, I can't remember where I read it, but I think it was going to be a quick one where, like, Spider-Man swings and Logan's in the crowd and he says something. I think that's the costume I think they were talking.
Okay.
That would have been incredible in 2004 to see a Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Jesus, that would have fucking fucked up what everybody thought comic book movies were early on. That would have been crazy awesome.
Yeah, but I mean,
I was
back then you still had property rights and Sony owned this and these guys own that and stuff. So I mean, it was dumb.
Well, it's still the same way nowadays. They were just willing to play ball back then.
True.
Nowadays, everyone's so greedy they want to create their own shared universe that they don't care about. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if these people were less greedy and they were like, "Hey, all the Marvel characters can exist together. We're still going to own the rights, but we're just going to take a cut."
Yeah, if they actually cared about story as opposed to lining their fucking pockets, then yeah. And if they actually cared about making a sustainable universe, then yeah, I agree.
What they really need to do is get Galactus involved, so when they do another giant Avengers event, they can fight something bigger than Thanos.
I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Where do they go after that if they do more?
I don't know. I guess they got to go ground level again,
That'd be difficult going to like the ends of the comic book universe and then going back to ground level. That'd be a little.
Well, the only
reason crazy,
I say that is because that's what the James Bond franchise had to do. They went to outer space with Moonraker, so the next movie they made it really grounded and really realistic.
You're right.
Like, where does Bond go after space?
Well,
space.
Mega space. Bond through time. I don't know how that would go.
I think the difference is comic books are a lot more. There's a lot more space. So as awesome as the James Bond franchise is, with comic books, you could go to space, you could go to other dimensions, you can go to hell. There's so many other places you go. So even if they do go with Galactus, which they totally fucking should if they go past Infinity Wars, Galactus, you could deal with Mephisto. You could go. There are so many things you could do before true, fatigue wears and people get tired of the shit. I mean, it's there's so many things you could fucking do.
James Bond takes on Thanos.
That wouldn't work.
Yeah, because actually what'll happen is Q Branch will give him a gadget to negate. Basically, Q Branch creates the ultimate nullifier, and 007 wins.
No, I think that 007 just, like, in the most human way possible, just fucking kills Thanos. Like, the heroes aren't going to kill Thanos. You would just have, like, he'd have his fucking, his 7.65 handgun, and he just fucking blows Thanos' fucking brains out. The end. Because, Cap isn't going to kill him, Iron Man's going to kill him, Spider-Man's not going to kill him, but James Bond would literally have a cool line where he's just like, this isn't a game. Or he says something cool, and he would just fucking blow Thanos' fucking hell. It'd be great.
Now, what's going to suck for us, but not you, Phil, since you're watching the 2.1 cut, is you're going to get to see J. Jonah Jameson put on this costume.
Oh my god, no way!
That
he
makes
jumps around
me
the
sad.
office and goes,
Oh my
he goes,
god!
pew, 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 pew.
Oh no! Oh, look it up now. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I do love the line when he's like, caviar? What are we, inviting the Tsar? That's what another thing they haven't done is the Daily Bugle, like the relationship between Joe Robbie Robertson in Spider-Man and J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man. That's an aspect that they don't cover anymore.
No, there are a lot of comic book. There are very few of them now focus on the hero and like the.
No, I'm just talking. I'm talking movies only.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying as far as the movies, they don't really cover that secondary. Like, there's like the hero, and then like the first person that they deal with. But like as far as like their secret identity or their home life, they don't cover that relationship very well. Because even the second one, they cover his relationship with what's his name, the fucking neighbor from Yugoslavia, a little bit. But yeah, none of them really focus on that secondary relationship very much.
They need to though, because with Spider-Man, that's the important part.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
There you go, Jeff. Since we can't see it, I sent the image for you.
Thanks. Normally, I only watch the 2.1 edit, but hey, I didn't want to be off sync with Nick and the other guys.
I just watched a YouTube video of that. That was beyond hilarious. Holy shit. That was worth it.
I know.
Oh my god.
Now this scene's surprisingly heavy, which is great because you need this.
No, I'm with you. You need the heavy, you need the light, you need all of it. You need the human experience with these characters to bring them to our level, make them seem like, to make them seem relatable, basically.
That's why these movies work. Like, these two movies are, up there. I can't think of other... Okay, origin to second movie, the only other franchise I can think of that's this strong is The Dark Knight and Batman Begins. Because Captain America's a fine movie, but Winter Soldier's so much better.
Well,
many regard the first Avengers,
Well, I mean, and that's kind of like why I like Kick-Ass, because Kick-Ass is extremely relatable because it's just a guy who sees things wrong around him and he's going to go act on them, even though he gets hurt and almost dies. Like, he's just trying to protect people and do good.
I enjoyed Kick-Ass. I thought that was a good ass movie.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that be almost a franchise as well, to see the other characters, more heroes, like that to be a thing. But it didn't make the money, so it's not gonna happen.
I didn't care for the second
Kick-Ass. Yeah, the second one wasn't as good. But it would have been cool to see Kick-Ass team up with Spider-Man.
That'd be amazing.
Because you could add Spider-Man mentor him, and he's like, "Don't do this."
That's
I'm a hero like you.
No. That's very true. You can have Spider-Man and be in there like maybe 3 times, the beginning, middle, and end, and just be like, "Hey, do this, don't do this." Here, I'm here to rescue you. Don't die this time, kind of thing, and it would work.
Don't die
I love
this
her face
time.
right here.
Jeez.
This lady reminds me of my grandma, but in a good way.
Yeah. I guess.
My grandma's never been this disappointed in me, so.
Thank God.
Yeah, like I saw my grandma today. I visited her at the her rehab center, and she was like happy to see me. She didn't look at me like you killed my husband.
That's good.
I'd be like, Grandma, your husband died 4 years before I was born. Blame someone else. I love how she pulls her hand away here too. It's like, you fucked up, Peter.
Yeah, this scene is extremely heavy, but it's needed just to kind of.
This is acting like
it really shits on him the whole movie. Like the whole movie, he gets shit on. The entire movie, his webs don't work. Even when he's in the party, he can get an hors d'oeuvre, a drink. He tries to better himself by going without the Spidey stuff, but nothing's working.
And see, with the modern Marvel movies, you only get heavy acting from Robert Downey Jr., and everyone else is just playing up to him. In this movie, everyone's bringing their A game. Aunt May, Doc Ock, J. Jonah Jameson, even like Joel McHale is playing his role at 100% efficiency.
Yeah. Well,
you don't get that anymore because everyone's trying to just build up the one. It's like WWE; they're trying to build up one guy. It's a group effort, people.
True. Yeah, no, I'm 100% with that. Yeah, that's the idea.
I love how he happens to have images of Spider-Man that are like production images and like old paintings from Alex Ross, the guy that did the cover artwork.
Yeah.
The only reason that guy Bernard is in this movie is his son is one of the producers on this movie.
Okay.
He's a shitty actor, Bernard.
Well, he's only in this movie like a handful of times.
Well, he fucked up Spider-Man 3 like with a passion.
Yeah.
You had the opportunity, Bernard, to save Harry. Don't worry, we'll get to the Spider-Man 3 commentary soon enough.
Oh,
and I got so much anger towards that end of the movie, like, ugh.
Just the end, motherfucker?
How late are you going to be up tonight?
I'm sitting here watching fights with my woman, watching Spider-Man, I'm drinking. I'm going to be up for a long time.
Then, motherfucker, we're going to put in Spider-Man 3 after this and record it, and you're going to hear me get angry.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I got nothing to do tomorrow. Shit.
Good. Then that's what's going to happen.
Fuck it, let's do it.
I got gin, I got juice, I got beer, I got time. I'm happy. Now that was a cool ass move right there.
That is a damn cool.
I have that Doc Ock figure. I was on vacation down at Virginia Beach, and I bought the fucking toy on vacation.
Looking 6-pack or whatever.
Say that they didn't have a Doc Ock figure that came with scotch.
Did they have the Doc Ock figure with the 6-pack? Did you get that one?
No, he doesn't have a 6-pack. He's on my shelf right now. He's fat and chubby.
Is he? Because I remember when he went on right after it came out. Right, maybe it was like before. And he was doing the tour or whatever. He was on Letterman, and that was the joke that Alfred Molina made. That he's like I haven't had a 6-pack since I was blah 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 blah. And obviously I love Spider-Man. Obviously, so I thought that for the longest time Molina was the coolest dude on the planet. Just because he was like self-deprecating, like I ain't got a goddamn 6-pack. Fuck it. It was so good.
It's funny you bring him up about being chubby, though, because that's what I said as soon as they showed him in the hospital scene. I'm like, I'm glad he's not ripped. Now, that was a nice little moment, Don't Hurt Peter, to show that their friendship is still intact.
Oh, that's one of the reasons why 2 is one of the best comic book movies, because they touch on all that shit for just, it's just so good.
Oh, now this is a clear homage to the first movie, but it's nice because I hate to quote George Lucas, but it's like poetry. It rhymes, you know? You have the first movie that has the fire scene and he fights with his powers, and then you have the human side of this movie where Peter Parker, without powers, has to achieve the same goal. And you think he does, but ultimately he fails. And you realize what good Spider-Man can do for society. Now, this is the only Spider-Man movie my mom saw with me in theaters. When I saw the first one, she just dropped me off and said, I'll pick you up later. And then this one, she actually went with me, because I was like, you gotta see this, it's gonna be great. And she liked it. Enough, I guess.
Because it is great.
I don't think she's seen it since we watched it in theaters. Oh, Dion, guess what I got today real quick, completely off topic.
What?
Hot Toys Marty McFly, finally.
Ah, fuck, you found it. That's awesome. Where was it at?
Well, I just bought it on the internet, but I finally had the money to buy it.
I thought you found it.
No, we saw it in Florida, but I just wasn't going to spend my trip
I remember that.
It'll be here next week. Anyway, back to the movie. Listeners, if you like Hot Toys dolls, I have a Spider-Man Hot Toys doll, and I plan on bringing back a series that I was going to shoot for YouTube years ago called Shit from the Shelf. I'm going to do a whole Spider-Man episode, so if you enjoy Spider-Man products, you're going to actually see me on camera talking about them. So the nerdiest of the nerd will come out and enjoy that. I hate this child. I would have dropped her, but like, you know what, shut up.
That kid,
That's why
that kid must be really afraid of fire.
Yeah, well, it's gotta be so hot, dude. I like how she's trying to help by grabbing his fucking finger. Oh, she has a double chin. How cute.
Fat ass?
Fat Asian baby.
Phoebe?
They'd be like, if you don't save her, we eat her.
I love that black guy. He's like everyone's youth counselor from like your freshman year in college. Peter Parker. Have you guys ever heard of a comic? Well, Dion, you're the only one that would know this. Have you ever heard of a comic book series called The Untold Tales of Spider-Man?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I feel like this moment could have been part of that story, of that comic book series.
Oh no, I think it would have fit perfectly. It would have fit perfectly. Just like that whole, oh man, that whole, you know, this is what happens when he's not in the suit level shit, which I loved.
I'd just like to throw something out there for the listeners, by the way. Now, this may not, relate to all of you out there, but I've read something online that bothers me. People assume that the Amazing Spider-Man and the Spectacular Spider-Man and Superior and all these other comic book titles are not in the same universe. The only comic book line with Spider-Man not in the mainline universe is Ultimate. Like, the stuff that happens in Spectacular and the stuff that happens in Amazing back in the day was all the same guy. So I just want to throw that little piece of information out there because there seems to be confusion that there's different adjectives on the titles and you assume it's a different universe, but it's not.
Well, see, like I'm
to say that.
Well, and I'm one who's never read the comic book, so I don't know. You know, going to the comic book shop and seeing, you know, like 8 different Spider-Man titles is always confusing as hell to me. It's like, what do I read? What's true? What's canon? Like, what is it?
Well, if you go by nowadays standards, all the Spider-Man comics are pretty shitty, so you don't read those. That's what you do.
Got it.
But if you do the smart thing and you go back and read from the beginning of the series on, Amazing Spider-Man is the first series. Then there was Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, which, by the way, Dan bought me the first issue of as a birthday gift. Thank you, Dan. There's that series, and those two series ran concurrently. Then, later on, they changed that to just Spectacular Spider-Man. Then there was the Web of Spider-Man, Sensational Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man. But they all were just like, they would come out each week, but they were the same Spider-Man. Like,
Gotcha.
It was just a different adventure with the same character. And it used to be... Honestly, when I was in college, like freshman, sophomore year, you used to be able to pick up a new issue of Spider-Man every week, and it was part of Amazing, and it was awesome. Like, every week was a new Spider-Man story. I miss that. I miss just gobs and gobs of Spider-Man adventures. Like, there was one where he just fought the mob, and he had to save a kid from, like, a bomb or something.
Yeah.
It was a great issue. It was just something small.
That's crazy.
And by the way, I would tell Aunt May to go fuck herself if she wanted me to pay me $5 to, you know.
Well, I mean, you know, you have to kind of that's 2004 money, so you know that's okay. $5 is fine.
Didn't she throw his
It's
comic
$7.
books away?
Yeah, I'd be like, you're done, bitch.
Like, you're gonna fucking die. I hope you're in a fire, and I'm not gonna save you because I'm Spider-Man. So fuck you.
I'm Spider-Man, bitch.
That's a good reason.
Do you want to hear something sad? So my grandma threw away my uncle's comic books when he went off to Vietnam. He came back from Nam. He came back from Vietnam and said, "Where are my comic books?" And my grandma was like, "I threw them away." And my uncle held a grudge until the day he died.
Wow.
Yeah, that's sad and fucked up on so many levels. But
So my grandma hates comic books, and she always calls them funny books, and she bitches about me having them. I'm like, look, Grandma, just because I got thousands of comic books doesn't mean I don't have a normal life. I mean, it's slightly different.
What was your uncle's name?
I'll tell you off air.
why would he say that on air, motherfucker?
Oh no, he's dead.
Uncle Ben.
That all doesn't mean anything. Jeez.
Yeah, it was my Uncle Ben. We'll just go with that.
You should be like, look, Grandma, just because Uncle Dave had fucking comic book issues with you doesn't mean I do.
Yeah, don't touch my shit.
Wait,
though.
what?
Get out of my room.
What? Just because he had comic issues with you. Wait,
Comic
are you saying
book
issues or comic issues?
Comic book issues.
Phil has drank this. Sorry, he drank the better part of a bottle of.
I drank the whole bottle of whiskey.
The whole bottle of single barrel malt.
That's a Google image. I'm still saying it's a Google image.
Yeah.
Phil, send us a really odd Snapchat.
Oh God, no.
Okay. You convinced.
I do love this speech right here, but I have to say I disagree with one line. Normally, you know, these emotional and powerful speeches in films are kind of uplifting, but the part where she says you have to give up what you want most to do what is right, I don't agree with that on like a philosophical level. You can do what is right and still have what you want. You can compromise other things to get both outcomes. I don't agree with like you have to give up everything to do what's right. Because I don't think that's the definition of a hero.
Well, I think, again, that's one of the reasons why the relationship's the part that bothers me the most in this movie, is because in the comic books, there was always a part of MJ that understood it. In this one, I feel like her character's rushed to where it's like, well, you have to either be with me or be with Spider-Man, and like that's why I don't like that it's at the end of the movie where she's okay with it. I hate that. I think that the comic book Mary Jane would have understood from the jump, and that's one, as much as I love the visuals of when the car goes through, I hate him sitting there talking to her. I hate that whole. That's the part that bothers me the most, man, because I don't think she's the best.
I understand why it bothers you, because she's not comic book Mary Jane, and I'm not saying that to defend the movie. If anything, she's an amalgamation of comic book Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy, because Gwen Stacy always had the problems with him. Because remember, he could never explain anything.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the 80s where Mary Jane's like, I know you're Spider-Man. I've always known. Like, that's why she's okay with certain things. Before that, when she didn't, quote-unquote, know, she was like a party girl and was like, oh, I don't care, I got another guy to deal with. And she was using Harry Osborn and shit. Like, they just miss the character of Mary Jane. But if you judge Mary Jane's actions strictly what's in this film, I think they do a phenomenal job, because, what human being is going to put up with that shit? Even if you love someone after so much abuse. Oh, God, look at that Toby face. He looks like a bird. Like, now you can criticize this movie for this. Look at he looks like an old man with acne. Ugh.
He's going to be a very expressive old man.
Yeah. That's one thing they fucked up with. Tobey Maguire is surprisingly young-looking for being in his 40s. He could still play Spider-Man. Like, if they wouldn't have shit-canned him or did the shit they did, they had the perfect actor. They could have had Spider-Man look the same for, like, 20 years straight.
Oh!
God, that's gotta fucking hurt.
Oh, man.
Back! No, but Keon, going back to what you were saying,
He's all...
I'm with you 100% on the way you feel about her character being rushed, but if you don't, in my opinion, if you look at her through the lens of only as a film character and not what she's adapted from, I think her reactions are completely rational and natural.
Well, I think, when you said earlier, you said the totality of the character. I think at the end of Spider-Man 2, I'm okay with it, because that makes sense, right? It's someone who's with him, she's tired of it, but then she comes back around to being, this is who he is. And that's why I still love 2, even though Mary Jane annoys me. But yeah, I think maybe it's because every time I watch Spider-Man 2, I watch it as if I'm watching it for the first time again. And that just dealing with that part of Mary Jane, that, like you said, is rational and it makes sense. It's still, I understand Peter's frustration, I think, more so than it's the character's fault. You know what I mean?
See, now, the thing with me is, I was really into these movies, like, unnaturally. Like, the amount of, attention...
No, I never would have guessed that, fellow pop culture fan of mine.
But what I liked, though, is how it took... Because the thing about Spider-Man is he would get to the end of the issue, and as Spider-Man, he would achieve his goal, but as Peter Parker, he would fail. Most superhero movies don't end on a negative note. Like, when Superman, at the end of the movie, he looks at the camera, waves, and flies off, and you feel like, oh my god, Superman saved the day, and I feel safe now. At the end of Batman, you get that epic montage of Kim Basinger down in the car with Alfred. She's going to go back and fuck Bruce Wayne, and the city's praising Batman, and that fucking bell hits, and it's like this beautiful, amazing scene. In Spider-Man, he gets what he wants, and he turns it down because he has to protect her. That's the character of Spider-Man. And in this, it's a continuation of that. And that's why I'm so into this. Because it's a continuation of, like, the truest form of the character. It's not, hey, the audience is going to enjoy it more if he gets with the girl at the end. No! Sam Raimi and company decided to keep it true to the character. And, Spider-Man always walks off into the night alone. In the first appearance, he walks off into the night alone. When he fucks up and gets Betty Brant's brother killed in Philadelphia, he walks off into the night alone. When he drops the suit in the garbage can, he walks off into the night alone. Like, they took the cues from the character so honestly and brought it to the screen. And that's why I always challenge what you say about Mary Jane. Not because it bothers me that you have a different opinion, but because it's, like, as a guy that has read these issues, like, and gone over them with a fine-tooth comb multiple times, like, they get the essence of Spider-Man down so perfectly, and that's why I always, like, question you and prod you, because I'm like, if you don't like this, then you don't like the essence of Spider-Man, and where is your criticism? That's why I always ask you the way I do.
No.
And I feel like it's important to bring it up on the podcast.
No, and as a fan, I think you should. I think that's perfectly a reasonable defense, not only of the movie but of the character. But I think, again, going back to go off of your point of the essence of Spider-Man, I think not only does two cap as far as showing the consequences of being that guy. So the first one, he turns down being with Mary Jane and get to protect her, right? But two, not only is that the continuation, it shows you up close and personal the consequences of that. And I guess my problem, my problem with Mary Jane, again, and you and I have talked about this multiple times. It's not that I don't like Spider-Man 2. I love Spider-Man. It's my favorite of the three, and we both agree on that. It's just the minute points that we disagree on. The reason why I don't like that is I think that there are better ways to show. Goddamn, there are better ways to show. Like if you would have showed, I don't know, maybe Spider-Man losing whatever issues where he loses a fight or specifically loses a victim or a civilian or whatever. I think that would have been a better showing of the consequences of Spider-Man as opposed to Mary Jane just being unable to deal with Peter Spider-Man.
I think you need to keep Spider-Man personal. Now, when they get into the third movie and Amazing and all that shit, where everyone's got to be connected, then I feel like they're jumping the gun or jumping the shark, and it's a little too. She is not wearing a bra, by the way. It's a little too much. But with her, I like it because remember what the Green Goblin says: you must attack his heart. Everyone is attacking his heart.
Yeah.
And that's how you get Spider-Man to appear, and that's how you get these things. It makes sense within the realm of it. Because remember, these movies aren't, like, for as much as I say they get the character right, and they do, the essence is perfect, they're not direct adaptations of time periods. They blend, 60s, 70s, and 80s comics together. For example, Nick, you asked me on the other commentary about Mary Jane's abusive father. That didn't come into play until the 1980s. Like I told you, Mary Jane's dad was not a character. It was always Aunt Anna. And, Doc Ock's backstory was like in his first appearance. But, a wife, that didn't come out until the 90s. Because in the 70s, he married Aunt May. And it was kind of shitty. But in the 90s, you found out he had a girlfriend, and his mom didn't approve of her, and Doc Ock yelled at his mother until she had a heart attack, and all these, there are like layers to these characters that didn't appear until 30 and 40 years after their first appearance. So, these movies, even the current Marvel movies do that shit, right? Where they take the greatest hits of these characters and bring them out. And now, we're about to I'll get back to the movie proper, since I've been going on this Spider-Man rant. We're about to get to arguably the greatest action scene in any superhero film. I would dare you, the listener, to tell us in the comments section below what you feel is a better action scene for a superhero film.
Well,
because if you're gonna say,
I'll kind of interrupt you. Like during that whole sequence, you like Sam Raimi, you can see Sam Raimi rubbed his dick all over that scene. Like his signature was all over that shit. If you ever seen any of the Evil Dead,
it blends.
No. I got no problem with it, but I'm just saying, like, there were things from Evil Dead that just popped up in there, and I was like, oh, that's Evil Dead. That's all Evil Dead.
Here we go, more Jonah Jameson. Wow. I've been drinking a lot of gin, so it's finally hitting me.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's all, fucks.
I was gonna say the worst part of that coffee shop scene is Doc Ock throws him into a solid brick wall. Like, a normal person, that would severely injure. And then the brick wall.
But he's still Spider-Man. That's the point. He's not.
But he doesn't know that he's Spider-Man. He could have killed him.
Right, but he's.
I love
he's
this.
Still, he's not functioning like a normal. He's being taken over by the goddamn arms. Remember, he's not functioning like.
Nick,
literally,
Nick, by the way,
that he happened to pick Spider-Man.
Yeah, what's up, man?
This is perfect right here. How he comes through the fucking newspaper, swings through the city, and this looks so much better than anything that's in the first movie. This still looks great. This looks better than anything that's in Amazing because there's actual weight to the character. This looks better than what Black Panther did when he's jumping on the car. There we go, right into the fucking glasses. And like I said, what's going to proceed in the next couple minutes is what I say is the greatest comic book action scene ever.
That was a great
It's
cutaway.
just perfect. Yeah.
Right into the glasses like that. I forgot about that.
I don't think enough people pay attention to this movie. I mean, I know I sound like a
Let's
curmudgeonly
talk.
old guy in his 20s, but this is freaking perfection. And Dion, you and I always talk about this scene right here with the fucking sound effect that the clock makes.
Yes. I mean, it's just...
I love this whoop. For a movie being 14 years old, this looks phenomenal. Or 13 years old.
No, it does. Even like, I know we got a lot of shit on the Black Panther trailer review. Like, this whole scene, like, Spider-Man looks fucking amazing, and it's not a real person going through the air. Like, he looks fantastic. Alfred Molina, the CGI, looks fantastic.
What was nice about this franchise is it was make or break, and they treated this like this was the only chance, the only shot they'll ever get. And everything they did every decision they made was to service the character of Spider-Man. It wasn't to sell a product; it was to produce a live-action adaptation of a character that millions of people love.
Yeah.
And every little action he does is very Spider-Man-esque. You know, the way he jumps, the way he dodges, everything here is perfect. And I wish we were watching the extended cut because this scene is way better on the extended cut.
That's what I'm watching.
Yeah, you're going to get to see the part where he jumps through the fucking building and shit.
Uh-huh.
And gets hit by the train. This is cool, man. I love how they fight on the side of the train.
Yeah.
They accentuate Spider-Man's powers.
Well, not only
just,
that, but very few superhero movies show... You know, and this is one of the things that you'll remember us talking about this all the time. They show the suits getting ripped, and the wear and tear on Spider-Man. Like, not very few superhero movies show the suit getting fucked up.
That's true. That's very true.
It's natural that him being dragged on the street on the train and jumping through windows, your suit's going to get torn up. And very few show the hero like he's getting cut. He's bleeding. Like, outside of martial arts movies, this is the only superhero movie that does
That
it.
was my favorite shot of the entire scene, where he runs up the wall and jumps back onto the train. I don't know why I like that so much, but it feels so real. Like, there's weight to the character, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, the costume getting ripped and the bleeding humanizes them more and then makes them way more relatable. And they don't do that anymore at all.
In this movie makes sense to why he takes his mask off. Like, in The Amazing Spider-Man, there's a scene, we'll get to it when we do the commentary, but I have only seen that movie once when it first came out, and I hated it. But there is literally a scene where he pulls his mask off to talk to a child. I hate that scene with a fucking passion. The only reason he ever takes his mask off in this movie in public is because it was burning.
Right,
which we're about to see in about 10 seconds from now. Everything they do here is logical. It's like the original Star Wars. All the decisions the characters make are logical. They're not stupid decisions that are made on a whim or... Like right here. Here it goes. 3, 2, 1, boom. His mask is on fucking fire. Remove it to save your face. It makes sense.
Yeah, true.
I just saw him get hit by the train.
Oh, okay. See, that's not in the cut we're watching.
Yeah.
You're going to be about a minute behind for the rest of the movie.
No, I jump
believe.
ahead during boring scenes to catch up.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. By the way, listeners, if you pay attention, there's Phil Lamar. He's the voice of Hermes on Futurama. He's the voice of the Green Lantern on the Justice League cartoon. He's a good actor overall. He's on Mad TV. He played the UPS guy.
I love UPS, or not UPS. I love Mad TV.
I love UPS. I do. Mad TV. If Mad TV was released on Blu-ray, I'd buy it.
That's like one show I missed.
Every Saturday night, I used to watch Mad TV and SNL.
Nice.
Yep. Because Mad TV came out an hour before SNL.
Yes, sir.
That's genius right there.
And now this is... I love this scene. This is... Man, this is intense. Now, this is how you do Christ imagery properly. I can't even talk. I've been drinking a lot. Anyway, this is how you properly do Christ imagery. You don't force it like in that Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. That seems so forced and fake.
Or in Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that was kind of... She's not a Christ figure, in my opinion. She's just there. God, this looks cool, though. I love Now I'm not one to
Any more
want
bright
the superhero to
ideas?
lose their mask, but but I just love how like you get to see his emotion. It adds so much to the scene that his mask is gone.
I just love the train scene so goddamn much. Like it's hard for me to talk during it because I have the extended cut with along with Phil. That's the stream I'm watching, but it's you know.
Now, do you guys
No
can you
word
guys think
for
of a better superhero action scene?
The only one that really comes close outside of this is Winter Soldier. Obviously, when he first encounters Winter Soldier and they're fighting. But that's not better. That's the only one that's comparable. One of the only ones I can think of off the top of my head. And then there's one of the obviously since I'm an Iron Man guy, the final fight with War Machine and the rest of the robots. That's not better, but that's the only one close enough that I can think of. And then in Incredible Hulk, where the first time that Ross and the military try to fight the Hulk, that one's the only one I can think of that's comparable. But yeah, as far as better,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say The Incredible Hulk is the most underrated movie in the MCU. That movie's good.
Agreed.
Oh,
Agreed.
the one with
Edward Norton.
Yeah, it is.
Fucking
I was
love
very
that
I
movie.
saw that
disappointed
twice
that-
in the theaters.
I was very disappointed that he got replaced.
Well,
But
But I
early
still,
Avengers.
but I still like
Sure.
Mark Ruffalo.
I'm not trying to like elevate superhero movies to more than they actually are, but do you realize like we're living in the golden period of superhero movies? Like no one's ever gonna be able to say like superhero
deserve
movies
to
were
be elevated.
popular now. Well, I'm just saying like we're living
I
in an
think-
era where like it's just like okay, I know people were like little teenagers, like, oh, you guys are so old, but like we're of the age where we got to grow up with Batman '89, and we're like still young to enjoy all these other movies. We've grown up with the evolution of the superhero movie. Like that's the newest genre to appear
Right.
in film, and I don't think you'll ever have another superhero renaissance ever again.
Well, I think outside of something out of the box coming out, I agree. Jeff and Deanna agree. What the fuck? But I think that rightfully so. Oh my god, the moment where he realizes, like, side note for the viewers, my favorite part of Spider-Man 2 is when he realizes his mask is off and he stops, and then everyone on the train's like, "Oh fuck!" Like it talks about not only his relationship with his mask, but his relationship with the people that he saves every day. So think about that for a minute, DC. Fuck you. But going back to what we were talking about, think rightfully so. I think you hold it up to that standard because outside of wrestling, comic books are the best like fictional representation of people, and to have this golden age of superhero movies where they've learned from the mistakes of Fantastic Fours and the Spawns, and we get to have movies like Civil War, like the first Iron Man, like Incredible Hulk. I think that they're criminally underrated, and I think you're 100% right to be like, yo, these movies are fucking awesome, and we are living in a golden age. I think you're 100% right, man.
And I think we've been living in a golden age our entire life, because I know we had some dark days at the end of the 90s, but I want the listeners to understand this while we're just having a quick exposition scene. Batman and Robin was a bad movie, but the superhero movie never died because Blade came out the very next year. Then
Yes,
in
it was the
2000,
same
which
year.
was just a year.
The same year.
Yeah, no. So Batman and Robin was 98, and Blade was not. Or sorry, Batman and Robin was 97. Blade was 98.
Oh,
And then 99, you
I
had,
think you're right. I think they were both 98. My bad. You're right.
we had Mystery Men in 99. 2000, we had X-Men. In 2001, we had Spider-Man. And Spider-Man, like, seriously, I know I said this in the review when I did the 15th anniversary, but Spider-Man was probably... It came out at the perfect time. We, as maybe Americans, I'll say it like that, but we as Americans needed something like that because 9/11 happened. It was kind of a shitty period, and Spider-Man was literally the first thing that came out that was like, hey, this is what it was like before this event happened, and you can get back to being normal. It brought back the normalcy to America, and it was cool, and that movie kind of sticks, no pun intended, to us because it was like the first distraction we had from the shitty new world order that we were going through in the early 2000s.
No, very,
By the
very
way,
true.
By the way, Harry had a really shitty combination. It was one number.
Was it?
Yeah, he barely turned the dial and opened it.
Hey Dan, what's the combination to your luggage?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, he's got Megger's mark.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only an idiot would have that combination.
That's my combination.
Remind me to change the combination of my luggage.
Oh, man, we're getting to the good parts now. Like, this movie, you're hearing it here first, folks. This is now back to being my favorite superhero movie, and I'm gonna be a controversial asshole. My second favorite is Batman Begins. Fucking love it. See, the thing is, what I like about these movies, and I'm not looking for, I'm looking for escapism, but I don't put my own hopes and dreams into these movies, but I like a movie with a little bit of hope, like a feeling of hope, and when I watch Batman Begins, I get a sense of hope, like, he's gonna make the change, and he's gonna do it, and that movie, to me, is perfect.
I do love that Nolan took and wanted to make them realistic and, in real life. And that's why I really do love those movies. Even though the third one is kind of shit, I still love them.
The third one's not.
And
again, it's not shit. I think it gets shit on because it's the third one. Again, Christopher Nolan misses a lot of minute details.
Cool shot. Oh my god.
Yeah, he misses a lot of stuff. But I don't blame you for having Spider-Man 2 and Batman Begins as your favorites because those are fucking fantastic movies. And again, they changed.
It's not very controversial if they're good movies.
Yeah,
well, I know a lot of people on this channel expect me to say everything Marvel Universe is amazing. No, but Dion, since we reviewed Black Panther the other day, I feel like a lot of people are expecting everything that Marvel does. They expect us to praise it. And while I do think they've all made great movies, this is a game changer. Batman Begins is a game changer. Like, you can watch this movie and, you recognize the greatness. I'm never going to put this on the same level as Star Wars, but this is, for a superhero movie, this is, the big one, This and The Dark Knight. And this is every bit as good as The Dark Knight. I'd say it's better, because The Dark Knight has a few points that I have problems with. This, to me, gets the character of Spider-Man. The Dark Knight creates the characters in the movie. They change what they come from. They don't honor it. This honors all the characters. Then again, I think Spider-Man comics are better than Batman comics, but that's just personal preference.
Right. I mean, we all can't be right all the time. You could be wrong every once in a while. That's why we're friends.
But I'm not here, so that's what matters. I love how you try to talk shit. I'm gonna give it right back to you, son.
Hey, that's why we got our channel, son. We got our own channel, bruh. But
that's why we're world-class bullshitters,
No, man. I don't think that you could definitely make a case for that. I would never say that you're 100% wrong, man. I mean, it's
on anything ever, even if there's a fire.
Even if there's a fucking fire, bro. But yeah, no. As far as superhero sequels, I definitely would put Dark Knight and Spider-Man 2 in the same sentence easily. With no problem.
I'd say it's all sequels. All sequels, seriously. Empire Strikes Back, Terminator 2, Spider-Man 2, Winter Soldier, Dark Knight. All those are just phenomenal sequels. And the only one that doesn't shit the bed on the third one. Oh, Beverly Hills Cop 2. Excuse me. I apologize. Lo siento.
The funny thing, Nick, I was literally going to be like, you're going to say Beverly Hills Cop 2, and then you said it right before I could get in there. so Air 5, bro. Air 5.
Hey, I've been around you guys enough. I know this shit, all right? I know this shit.
The only one that doesn't shit the bed completely is Civil War. Civil War is amazing, but Spider-Man 3 shits the bed. Dark Knight Rises is not as good as the second one. I like a series where the third one, they continually get better. For me, with Star Wars, the first one's the best, Empire's great, and then the third, Return of the Jedi is meh. Spider-Man 1's great, Spider-Man 2's better, third one's not good. Okay, not great. It has moments of brilliance, and in a few moments we're going to be reviewing that one, so be prepared. But
no, I mean, and again, going back to when we talk about comic book movies, as far as
hold on. Let's talk about this scene right now. He's just defeated Doc Ock. Took his mask off. He's trying to talk to him and trying to tell him, trying to ask him, how do I defeat the machine? He could kill Doc Ock and drown him or whatever, but he's trying to have a fucking scene with him and be like, listen, we need to shut this down. Things are gonna get really bad. How do I do this?
Now, remember that message I said earlier about giving up the things you want? I disagree with. I do like it in retrospect to this. I feel like I don't want to overly praised, but I think it's like a beautiful, and I'm using quotation mark, scene, because it's a revelation that Doc Ock has gone over the edge. He needs to redeem himself, and the only way he can redeem himself is through death. Coming up, we're going to hear a line, "I will not die a monster." To me, that epitomizes the character of Doc Ock, a good man who became bad through his own ambitions and mistakes, but at the end of it, he redeems himself, and is, in a way, it almost negates all the evil he's done, because he doesn't kill anybody.
No, nobody's died.
Doc Ock.
No.
Let me rephrase that. He only kills the people in the hospital scene,
But
which is
he
wrong.
kills the doctors for sure.
But other than the doctors, the Green Goblin goes on killing sprees and kills multiple people.
Right.
Doc Ock is really contained to his vision of I need to create this perfect my science project needs to be completed. And this is like, the payoff. And he does die, was it vindicated? He dies vindicated, and it's the perfect way. The Green Goblin scene, I do love the final Green Goblin fight, I think, more than this, but it's because of I had a father, his name was Ben Parker. That's powerful shit to me. This movie has powerful moments, but that one, just that personal moment of Peter Parker, Uncle Ben, and Norman Osborn, the whole fathers thing is a lot stronger. But back to this. This is where the shit gets real. I love this.
Yeah, movie. This scene is very real, and he's trying to redeem himself. He knows he's done some bad shit, so he's trying to be a better person. And,
well, not only that, I think Spider-Man 2 does a great job. They show the villain specifically arguing with the thing that's taking him over. So obviously the arms in this one, my favorite part is where he looks at the arm, he goes, "No, you're gonna listen to me now." And there's no other villain, Darth Vader's not ever gonna talk to the dark side of the Force. You're not gonna have the Winter Soldier talk to the Russians or talk to the Mind Wipe and be like, "No, you're listening to me." You're not gonna have any other villain in a comic book movie or really any movie talking specifically to the thing that made them.
Now, Dion, we just missed the moment that I think of all people would appreciate, where the face of Mary Jane, where she finally realizes that Peter's Spider-Man, and all the empty seats and all the nights where she left disappointed, she finally understands, and it's a perfect moment. And it was, it was cut down. That perfect moment was cut down by her being in danger, and that to me is the relationship between Spider-Man and Mary Jane, the microcosm of it, because when they have these perfect moments, the dangers of him being Spider-Man are going to come crashing down on her, and he has to save her because she's in love with the guy that has a responsibility to the suit, to the mantle of Spider-Man. And
me and Dion are
that's
just
why,
getting to that, by the way.
Oh, but I'm gonna say, but that's why I always jump on you, Dion, about how do you complain about that? There's the payoff. I remember sitting in that theater when she had that face, I was like, finally, I spent 2 years of my life wondering, it was going to happen, and it was just done perfectly.
Well, my issue is they did it twice. She had that realization at the end of the first one, although you could argue that she guessed he was Spider-Man.
No, she didn't. She never got. There was no revelation in the first movie.
Not like the revelation in the second one, but where at the very end when she kisses him and she has that moment where she puts her hand to her face, she's like, and she looks at him as he's walking away. There's not a flat out her figuring it out. But that's her being I think they're the same guy.
From what I got from that, honestly, I think that it was the rejection, and she was taking it oh my god, I've been rejected, not, oh my god, he's Spider-Man. Because these movies back then weren't so subtle about certain things, and that wasn't a subtle hint. In the first movie, there was no subtlety or subtle hints that anyone knew his secret identity. In the first one, I think you should take it as no one knew that Spider-Man and Peter Parker were one. But when we get to part 2, Robbie knows. Maybe Aunt May knows. By the time the third one rolls around, Aunt May definitely knows, but it's never said. That's a subtle moment that's perfect. And in this one, Mary Jane finally comes to the realization. I don't think, as somebody that's watched this movie literally 100 times, I don't think in the first one that she ever thought that. It was just oh my god, I love Peter, but Peter doesn't love me type of dynamic. She lost what she... It's like the Goldbergs. The guy's always chasing after her, and the moment she goes after him, he has something else.
As far as someone that watches Spider-Man that many times, I think that's the one thing I think you're missing. No, even if it's rejection, I think, like, I guess if she kisses him, she goes, that's when you realize the dude I just kissed like the fucking guy I kissed earlier in the movie. I don't think no one handles rejection like that, and that's the only reason I think that's the one mark you miss, is that's her realizing.
I don't think I missed it because she was the popular girl. She was never rejected. She got everything she wants. She was married.
Right, but like I said, the reaction is like, it takes a couple seconds, and it's more of an, like I said, they kiss, and then she waits, then she goes, and she looks. If she was just rejected and reacting like that, it would have been a lot sooner than. And again, it's minutia, but that's why that's where I think the
and both of you are inferring quite a bit. So
was anybody else
shut up, Nick?
That
shut up,
Doc Ock died?
What'd you say, Phil?
So was anybody else disappointed that Doc Ock had to die?
No,
yes and no, and the only reason I say no is because remember, every superhero villain or supervillain died in the movies back then.
Yeah, that's true.
Catwoman was the only one to survive. Deacon Frost died, the Joker, the Riddler survived, Two-Face died, but I'm saying Mr. Freeze survived, Poison Ivy. Did Poison Ivy live?
Yeah, because she gets put in the same cell as Mr. Freeze.
Anyway, this is important right here because this is the Spider-Man going off into the night alone scene that I was going on about earlier. They get the character right, and now she knows and she's involved, and it adds an extra layer of emotion. And I love this right here. Harry coming to the realization that Peter, well, he already knows, but he knows Peter's Spider-Man, and Norman appears. This part blew my fucking mind when I saw this in theaters. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna be the Goblin. Because, unlike most audience members, I knew that Harry became the Green Goblin.
Well, I knew it too, and for some reason my mom refused to believe me, and I was like, Mom, you know that I like comic books. Trust me, he's the next bad guy. She goes, oh, okay. And then we had to wait till...
The story arc that preceded Maximum Carnage was Harry dying as the Green Goblin.
Right.
In Spectacular Spider-Man number 200, that's what happens. Harry doesn't become the Goblin, but that's when Harry dies as the Goblin. Talk about a great comic book story. Great art, great action, everything.
Well, talk about a great comic book movie. Even though that he's realizing that as Spider-Man, he argues with his dad, that's my friend. And I'm just like,
yeah.
What other comic book movie? What other movie does it? Like, no, he's still fighting the fact that I know that he's Spider-Man. I still think he killed you, but he's still my friend. And I'm just like, God damn it, Spider-Man 2, you're fantastic.
Yeah, I'm putting this out there on record. This is my new favorite. Not my new one, but this is still my favorite superhero movie. Not even a competition anymore. There's so many layers to this. It's my favorite character. See, I'm not trying to make it too personal, but I always feel good knowing that my favorite character was adapted properly right away. I mean, I can't imagine being, I don't know, maybe your favorite character is Howard the Duck, and they keep fucking up and he's now a joke. But for me, Spider-Man has always been treated with the reverence.
Also, if your favorite character is Howard the Duck, maybe really look at your life, honestly.
Trust me, you know how much I love Daredevil, and that's what I fucking got. So,
Dion, Daredevil's my second favorite superhero in the Marvel.
I know
Marvel
we
universe,
talk about
so I'm
this.
with you.
And you know that I go between who? Daredevil and Iron Man. And trust me, I know that Daredevil's one of your other favorite, bro. I know you. You're my son from the future.
Dion,
there's a reason.
Dion, you got to remember one thing: the audience. Not everybody that listens to this listens to the podcast.
Man,
so
we gotta take this. Listen,
we gotta take the Stan Lee approach. Everyone's first, every episode of World Class Bullshitters is someone's first episode of World Class Bullshitters.
Listen. I'm gonna say this to all the first episode motherfuckers out there. Jeff and me, we've been friends. We had the conversations you think you've had. We've had them, motherfuckers. You ain't impressing us. You ain't impressing us.
I've been to the danger zone.
Oh no, not the danger zone. Anything but the danger zone.
I love this part right here. The wedding with Jonah Jameson makes every scene better.
He really does.
Runs out in slow motion. It's so good.
Tell her not to open the caviar.
Susan the caterer.
What would you have thought if they kept Tobey Maguire and they kept going on. They didn't pussy out as they tend to do, and they did it to where you know they whether it's shit. I lost my God damn, I lost my train of thought. Fuck you,
What they do, Dion? Here's what they do. They make a Spider-Man 4 in 2011. In the meantime, Iron Man and every other movie comes out. Then, here's what happens, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. During the Battle of New York, during the Avengers, just as it's about to be dark, Spider-Man appears, you tie it all together, people freak the fuck out, thousands of nerds cry and ejaculate at the same time. To me, that would have been the only moment where you could truly surprise a billion people. Like, everyone in the world, when they saw that scene, would have cheered because it would have been so perfect. But you can never have that now because the way the internet works and the way they market movies, everything's told to you, so you go see it in theaters. But imagine seeing the Avengers. It's the exact same movie. No line of dialogue has changed up until a point where Spider-Man, played by Tobey Maguire, appears during the battle for New York, helps them fight off the shit, and then just goes away. Like, he just does a small part on the ground. He doesn't have to, ruin the aspects of the movie where they're doing shit, but he can replace some of the Hawkeye scenes. And then, in the second movie, The Avengers, they get to meet him again, and he explains he's been doing it for 10 years, blah, blah, blah. To me, that would have been the perfect type of way you could tie this to that. And you could never have that. The only
thing I'll say is my version is more perfect than your version, is one very small thing, is instead of them not knowing, he shows up and Nick Fury says, yeah, I know, or something to where he alludes that S.H.I.E.L.D's been keeping an eye on him for the last 10 years. Then it would be perfect, because that would not only be the most Nick Fury thing, but it would be the final stamp that ties it all together, that Nick Fury is the guy.
Well, Dion, our ideas can still coexist, and they don't have to change, because I'm saying is for the audience. I'm not saying with what Nick Fury knows. I'm one of those people that always likes to break down what us as the audience is viewing as opposed to what the characters are experiencing. And as an audience member, in no way you should have had any connections to Spider-Man. He literally will just appear.
Right,
like, he swings in at the, I don't know, say the Black Widow is about to get shot. And all of a sudden you hear the sound effect, and a guy, you, see the Chitauri soldier fly backwards, and Spider-Man just appears, and the camera zooms in on him. And then the music plays from the movie, and then it cuts back into the Avengers, and he's like, I've been doing... He doesn't even say anything. He just fights with them. It makes a couple jokes here and there.
Okay,
Iron Man's like, who's this guy?
And they're like, I guess he's with us. I'm gonna hit you with a big question, and this is not only for the viewers, but to up the ante on our multiple comic book conversation.
Dion, I have a question for you. How can you wait? Can you remember the question for 30 seconds?
Yes.
Okay, because I'd like to bring up a point while we're finishing this commentary. So right here, we just saw Peter get everything he wanted with Mary Jane. And he swings off in the distance to do his Spider-Manning, if you will, if that's a verb now.
Spider-Manning.
We have a beautiful final swing. Spider-Man's going to go out and save the day. This looks great. Even to this day, 13 years, I'll just keep counting down, 12, 11, 10. This still looks great, The CGI still holds up. Maybe they could do a passover on the lighting, whatever. But overall, this still looks very solid and incredible. And it's exciting. We need excitement in these movies. And then just as you get this great excitement, you're going to pan back to Mary Jane in about 5 seconds, 4. There we go. And there's a look of, what have I done? What have I got myself into? And you think this is going to go on to something crazy and amazing. And if you want to stop this commentary right here, go ahead, because we'll be back with Spider-Man 3. But Dion, please ask me your question, sir.
That was an awesome exit, by the way. So kudos to that shit. Number one. Number two. Yes, that was 100% accurate what you said. Holy shit, Dion and Jeff agree on something else. Go fuck yourselves. But third and lastly, the thing I was going to ask you, and I think it fits the end of the commentary very well, as far as your point as to Spider-Man showing up, he saves Black Widow or whoever the fuck in the Avengers to fight the Chitauri. I'm going to hit you something hard. What would you have his first line be when he shows up in the Avengers?
I think this would be the time where Spider-Man makes a jokey joke. Because one thing I'd like to say about these movies is everyone says he doesn't make any quips. You gotta understand something. He's dealing with very personal issues and their life and death moments. I would like you, the listener, the person that asks the question, why doesn't Spider-Man make these jokes? what would you do if your life's on the line? You're not going to make a stupid joke. If anything, you're going to be quiet and stand around and cry and beg for the person not to shoot you in the fucking face at the bank. But back onto the point you just asked me. I would have Spider-Man make some kind of line about, like, I'm trying to think, how would I write this as a very Spider-Man-y line? So,
Welcome
he saves
to
the
the
Black
neighborhood.
Widow, he appears. Yeah, like, this is my neighborhood, or something stupid, something just enough to get a good laugh. And then is, like the Black Widow or Hawkeye or whoever, it has to be one of those two characters that he saves because they have no superpowers. But as soon as he saves one of those two characters, he, like, jumps off to get back into the action. Then they talk about him.
Yeah, but wouldn't they?
Wouldn't
Wouldn't one of them give him like a headset or an earpiece, or whatever, so he can communicate with the others and kind of like coordinate attacks?
No, I don't think he would, because you got to understand something. They got a finite amount of resources. They have their headsets in already, and the Quinjet has been destroyed in the Avengers, so they don't have access to it anymore.
Got you. Okay.
No, I would think he would fly around as a rogue element, where he wouldn't be able to communicate with them, but they would talk about him like, "Who's this guy? Blah blah blah. I thought he was you."
No. That'd be fucking amazing if they did that. It's like who's the guy in the red and blue spandex, and they just kind of have a little conversation throughout the group.
Yeah, and at the end of the movie, when they're having shawarma, maybe he sits there, they're all doing it, and he just has his mask pulled up over his nose.
Oh, dude! Oh my God!
They go to ask him a question, and when they ask him a question, he goes, "Who's going to pay for this?" And then that's like it. It just ends. Like
no.
They
say he's going to pay for this, and they'll look at him, and they just fucking webs out.
Yeah. But to me, that's like the ultimate fantasy. That's the amazing fantasy world that I like to live in with. Spider-Man appearing in the Avengers. Because Dion and I used to sit on a balcony and get drunk, and we would write our own superhero movies, and we read Spider-Man for about 10 times.
No, we had like Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6 done, son.
Dude, when I'm sitting here talking to you about writing Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6, I want to go to Denny's really, really bad.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Gentle Giant Studios.
Dude, Denny's is the shit, man. Denny's is shit.
Nick, I wish you lived closer to us, because we should all get breakfast after the next movie.
Dude, God, if only I had the Quinjet.
Nick, start driving.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's a long drive for breakfast.
Yeah, but it says that's a long ass fucking drive.
Worth it. The trout.
These are the times in life where I wish I had my own jetpack.
I forgot Michael Bublé sings the fucking song.
Does he really?
Yeah, that's him singing it right here.
That's crazy.
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys something nerdy I used to do. When I got Spider-Man 3 for the Xbox 360, I downloaded a CD of every Spider-Man theme that existed at that point in time, and I used to listen to them as I would swing around the city.
That's awesome.
I love Spider-Man 3, the game, for Xbox 360. And there's a difference between the PlayStation and Xbox version, mainly that the Xbox version doesn't fucking chug along with a shitty frame rate like the PlayStation 3 version, So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Spider-Man 2. In my opinion, it's the greatest superhero film of all time. It's an achievement of filmmaking. It's incredible. If you think it's a terrible movie, you're a terrible human being. And I'm not even joking at this point.
Can I be a terrible human being and think it's a good movie?
You're already a piece of shit, Dan, but we love you, so it's cool. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, because we're getting a lot of thumbs down because we didn't suck Black Panther's dick. Well, guess what? You can make a great superhero movie, and it's called Spider-Man 2, and we're going to praise it because it's great. Also, if you like world-class bullshitters, check us out on Patreon. $1 a month can really help the channel grow. More helps us grow even more, so we appreciate that. This is Spider-Man month, and spoiler, and here's a little bit of inside baseball. We're recording these early, so I don't know if this is going to come out, when this is going to come out, and what's going to come out before that. But if it hasn't already happened, there's going to be a special review where I do all these Spider-Man figures. We're doing top costumes, top creators, writers, artists, all that great shit. If you like Spider-Man, World Class Bullshitters is the channel for you in the month of July. Also, I guess that Spider-Man Homecoming is already hit by the time you hear this, so when we recorded this, Spider-Man Homecoming is over a month away. Not really excited for it. Hopefully it's good enough. It won't be better than this, though. Do you guys think that Homecoming will be better than this movie?
No.
No.
I hope that it will be, but I'm okay with the fact that it isn't.
I'm not trying to be negative, but I don't think it can be, dude. This is the fucking zenith of Spider-Man films. Because the thing is that they built to this. This isn't the first in a franchise. They built to this, and they got everything about the character correct. And if you're a Spider-Man fan the way I am, and you've read countless hours of comic books, and watched the TV series, and I even read a fucking Spider-Man novel that had no pictures in it, okay? That's how much I like this character, okay? This is it. This is the Spider-Man movie for Spider-Man fans.
No,
So we'll be back. We'll be back later with the commentaries for Spider-Man 3, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and we're going to top it all off with Civil War, which is arguably also one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. But thank you for watching, and I have been your host, Jeff Hicks.
I've been
Man.
Oh shit! We're seeing some fucking
I'm
problems
sorry,
in the
I'm
ranks
sorry.
of world-class bullshitters.
You
No, Nick's
mother-
fine, because Dion showed up late. He has to go late.
That's
Yeah, Dion, you go last.
That's true. That's true. I've been here since the beginning. I have been your
Son-
first neighborhood Samoan. Dion, you can go now.
Nope. I've been here too. I'm Dan. Go last.
I am the Doctor, Phil Sides.
Cut the video before Dion.
And I am the man with the plan and the guy you call when the rest of these fuckers can no longer do it, Dion Green.
Goddamn right, you dependable son of a bitch. I love you, and we'll see you guys next week.
The alcohol's kicking in now.
Yeah.
Uh,
We're always like, hey, we do the second movie? Yeah, let's fucking do it.